Gamer, go ahead, cam up, mic up, and let's get into this. And thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate it. All right, guys, go ahead, put your hands together for today's guest, Black Girl Gamer. There they go. There they go. Look at those lips. Oh yeah, I forgot it. I forgot the theme music for the guest. I forgot we have theme music now for the guest. That's right. That's right. Thank you guys. Thank you. Oh, you guys are too kind. You guys are too kind. You guys are too kind. Yes, woo indeed. Woo indeed. Black Girl Gamer, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you for your patience.
Hey, boo.
Hey. That's what
Am I in a sauna?
You are in a hot tub.
I'm in a hot tub.
Yes, you
yes
are.
let's
yes,
get
you
it.
Oh yeah, we're relaxing. I'm in a hot tub too, but it's also behind my advertisement and the.
Oh,
chat.
you're in one.
Yeah, I'm in one too.
Oh, we cool it. Okay, I see.
Yeah. We're in it together. We're in a nice warm environment. We're in a jacuzzi in space. So
right.
Everybody,
With
let's relax.
My man, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Rusty. Dusty.
Dusty. Yeah, Dusty. Yeah, Dusty.
That's ZZ Top, dude, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We're still mourning the loss of Dusty. There's been a lot of deaths lately in the music community. It's crazy. Lee Scratch Perry, I think the drummer from Cream or somebody just died. Man, I can't remember it. But there's a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, Truvian, thank you for being here. We're going to do the feedback. Go ahead and drop any feedback, songs you want feedback on in the feedback channel in the Discord, and we will do that at the end of the conversation. So thank you guys for being here. And Tweet Tessa, welcome.
Tweet Tessa, hey, that's my boo.
Hey, there it is.
BGG, what's up, boo boo?
Charlie Watts, thank you. Oh, it was Charlie Watts is the Rolling Stones drummer. That's right. But there was another person who just died. Hold on, there's like music news death.
Music news death.
Yeah, recent deaths. Let's see who died recently. There's a whole website for this. Of course there is.
Yeah, of course there is.
Lee Scratch Perry, thank you for being up to date. Charlie Watts. Fritz McIntyre, who was the keyboard player for Simply Red, whoever that was.
Simply Red?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Simply Red is? How old are you, boo boo?
I'm 37. Reina, can you confirm that?
Well, you should know. Simply Red sings holding back the isn't that I keep holding on, right? That's Simply Red. Yeah. I'll keep holding on. You don't know that?
No.
Never heard that?
No.
Wow.
Bryce,
yeah, I've only got you by what, 4 or 5 years?
I'm not sure.
I caught you slipping, boo, but you knew about Lee Scratch Perry. And that's when I had to check a box. I was like, okay, cool dude, cool as fuck. I like you. You know about Lee Scratch Perry.
I love that old reggae stuff. I still play in a reggae band from San Diego.
Let me not.
That I fly out and play gigs and stuff. But ever since the pandemic, not very many gigs happening. So
yeah, I feel you on that.
I shelved Simply Red CDs when I worked at Borders in the late 90s. Dude, at Borders. Does that still exist? I think are they still? No, they went out long ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
Borders. Yeah.
What's up, Octavia?
Octavia, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Thank you, Reina. I am 38. It has been confirmed. I am 38. So
yes, Reina. Hey, Reina. Reina, I didn't get to speak good. I didn't get to speak English good to you earlier. Yeah, when you popped in, what's up, boo? You had hosted and everything, but I was so deep into my talk on racism and sexism and bias.
Reina was telling me about that. Like, I'm sad I missed it. I was busy setting it up, but like, she was saying that you were like, you said something about like, I'm from the 80s, so I just sort of say what's on my mind.
I remember when shit wasn't like this. Like, right. I mean, even this moment. I mean, in the 80s, this would have really stood out, Well, a lot more. Not crazily, but a lot more, yeah.
It did.
So I'm glad everybody stopped pretending like we're not all trying to smash and hold hands and everything, because that's pretty much what's going on
We're all trying
at
to
this point.
we just
Yeah,
want to
everybody's
smash
tired
and
of
hold.
pretending like they don't want to do it. Like,
I was listening to my homeschooling. Yes, Reina, the
oh,
she's a homeschooler. She is
girl,
awesome.
us too. Yeah, we start next week, 2 weeks
Did you guys?
homeschooling. Yeah, yeah.
Did you get? Did
I'm
you?
sorry, he can hear you too on the mic. Go ahead.
Oh, did you guys? Did you guys decide to start homeschooling with the onset of the pandemic, or was it something you guys just came
Always.
into? Oh, it just.
Yeah, always.
If you don't mind, how long or like
Sure. Um,
what grade are your
no,
kids in?
to be honest, I don't know what grade they are, but they're 12 and 13.
Fair
So
enough.
whatever,
Whatever
yeah,
grade
like
that is, that's
whatever, because we are one of the things that we wanted to do with homeschooling them is not make it, we wanted to take advantage of the fact that we're homeschooling and not make it like home covered public school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, public school in a homeschool sleeve. Like,
yeah.
take advantage of the fact that, okay, I can work with you at your level. Before, let's say like back in the day with Bush, there was no child left behind. Even though he implemented that, that still was kind of a thing, just an unspoken thing. Like if a child kept failing after a while, people just kind of push them along because you don't want to see them, whereas with us, it's like, no, we want to meet them where they're at. Like, they're at, one of our children would be considered to be really advanced. Like if he was in normal school and then the other, I think he would be kind of what they would call behind. So,
okay.
but I don't want to do that. I just want them to be, kind of judged for just where they are. I mean, we're pretty nerdy and smart. So, we gave them, but I mean, I've taught and stuff like that. So I mean, we know how to make curriculums and things like that. But so I don't know what the grade is. I really don't. I don't, but I know they're 12 and 13 and they kind of know what they know.
So around 8th grade-ish.
Yeah.
Thank you, Octavia. Thank you.
Whatever
Octavia.
you say, boo boo. Yeah. Well, okay. No, they're 12 and 13. So yeah. 7th, 8th grade. Yeah.
Oh, well, I love that. I love that you just from the beginning you're just like just what was the initial reasoning for sort of taking it upon yourself?
We knew long ago that we didn't. It's interesting because both my husband is, for those who don't know, is Culture Chronicles. So Culture Chronicles is somebody I go live with a lot and stuff like that. He's sitting right over here.
Hey.
But he's we're MCs and we just do everything together. We've been together a long ass time. To the point where we don't really know how long we've been together. And either. I'm not good with time, I guess. And
me neither. Me neither.
Yeah, and like what constitutes what level or what, I don't know. But we've been together, for a really, really long time. And we just knew both he and I are really academic people. So yeah, and we loved school. I loved school, but there was just things about it that I just knew I didn't want to repeat. Some of it was the white supremacy, if I'm just being honest. Teaching children that, okay, well, Christopher Columbus discovered America. It's a whole day off. It's still in our society, actually, a whole day off that even I used to love to see coming because I wanted a day out of school or I wanted a day out of work. And in a roundabout way, it's almost like you celebrate it, by acknowledging it. And then meanwhile, and literally turn around and teach them that the Native Americans were here when they showed up. So it's just that kind of double speak. I just wanted to break the chain of some of that. We wanted to break the chain of some of that, but it's not just that. I think school, the main thing is the way school, particularly in kind of like urban communities and stuff, will kind of gear you away from a trade and more toward going out and filling out an application or getting a job. And that how hard it was for us to break that mentality. It was very difficult. Very, very difficult, even after knowing what we know and all the things. It's just like that's when I realized how deeply ingrained it is in the average person, and especially these days in America, where we've become so consumerist. Whereas even during, one thing I can say about the really racist times, at least America was more like, hey, you guys, let's let every man like make a way for himself. Like let's have a mom and pop store and let's all go to that store, or I don't know. We just wanted to kind of raise them in a way where they only saw like, because we didn't just do it by ourselves. There's like people in the community that we have off and on homeschooled with for long periods of time and stuff like that, who feel the same way. So some of it was that. Some of it is that we know that we're able to do it. Everybody can't do it. You know what I mean? Like it's not easy. It's not easy to homeschool. Right. It's not easy to maintain the schedule. I'm a good teacher. Husband is a good teacher. So or at least I've been told it. And I've been told all my life, even when I was in school and a child, when I was their age, people were like, oh, you should teach. You should teach. So all of those are some of the things. Just wanting to kind of put them in a more cultural environment where they can see themselves reflected more at the younger age where they're really tender and impressionable. This is the time where they need to see. I'll say this and then I'll let you move on with questions because I can talk.
That's okay. That's what we're here for.
I was in a person's stream. I'm not going to say the name of the streamer because I really like this.
You should just call him out. Let's just talk shit.
No, this is not the person didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, we can call him out anyways.
I don't want them to think like, I'm being, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But they went off into like a 80s kind of thing. And it was great. And I was listening to it and I was enjoying it. And I started reminiscing on those times when if you were Black and you watched MTV and you were growing up, there's at the beginning for quite a few years, actually, there were just really no Black people on there. But it was called music television. And I mean, like David Bowie, like called them out on it and they changed it. But like, I remember it when I was listening to this person stream this music, and I play that music a lot, actually, especially if I do like a cookout or something like that, or just me and my husband, we were raised listening to this stuff. So as so-called pro-Black and hip hop and all that as we are, I mean, play some what's his name? Newman here in my car. I feel safest of all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's play.
Yeah, like we related always.
Let's get some Tears for Fears going, baby.
Let's get some Tears for Fears,
let's go.
You know what I mean? Let's get some of that Joe Jackson that's stepping out, you know? So we were always related because we love music. So most of us as Blacks in the 80s, we embraced that music because we love music, and a lot of us, you know, we don't have a reason to really be racist, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever. So it's just like, well, I would like to see some Black people on here, but you know, this music is dope. I mean, and the people delivering this music looked weird as hell and everything. Totally different kind of culture for what I'm used to looking at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's just still the music transcended. But this is my point. I don't want that for them. I don't want them to grow up. And the world isn't like that anymore. But I don't want them to grow up in a world where they don't feel represented. Because now there's a lot of Black people on TV, but they're ignorant and crazy as hell. And you know, you have a picture of Cardi B like pregnant on the thing. You know what I'm saying?
She's hot. And she's hot when she's pregnant. Okay, that's the only reason why
she's hot anyway. On the low, like Cardi B on the low is well, I don't even know.
It's the pregnant. It's the pregnant that
is it the pregnant?
It was. I don't know what it is, and I'm not like into like pregnant women, but like Cardi B never really did it for me. But
until she got pregnant.
But she's
because
pregnant,
you saw her as a woman,
and she's healthy, and she's glowing, and yes, absolutely. I find that.
I like hearing you talk like that. I like stuff like that.
But I will not be shamed.
You don't be shamed.
I will not be shamed for liking pregnant Cardi B.
I didn't know why you had it up there. I thought you were gonna. When you said let's go into these topics, and I saw her up there, I was like, okay, is she pregnant again or whatever? Like, because I'm not hip. I was like, damn, she's really pregnant. I missed this.
No, she's just hot. She's just hot pregnant. That's it.
But I don't want them to go to. I don't want them to like not know who these people are. But at the same time, like if I play Set It Off, or if I play like Kraftwerk or a Stevie Wonder song or Prince, you know, or some Rick James, or they know that shit. Like they know some good music, and that's how I was raised. Like I was raised listening to my parents' music, and but our music was good too. So I had both worlds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel bad that I can't we're not strict. Like they want to see, you know, so a Roddy Ricch video or whatever it is. I'm not tripping, but like they don't really know who these people are. Like they couldn't pick out Cardi B off a picture. Like they don't even know. Like they heard her name. Yeah. Like she's a meme to them. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like they're silly. Like she's hilarious. Like people like that are hilarious to them. You know what I mean? But I don't know. So some of it is that it's just the way everything is. It's so crazy. Like I don't know. So we just kind of knew early that we wanted to at least start them off in homeschool. But for sure. I mean, the music and all that is just a background side thing. It's the way schools teach. Like, you know, I want them to see. I want them to skip. A lot of that stuff is simple stuff. To me, it's kind of kindergarten. Like it's academia. You fill up your head with it and you can't do anything with a lot of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it only really takes, you know, if you're going to be an engineer, like an actual mechanical engineer or whatever, then you need schooling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you need to go to school for that. You need
Yep.
to have technical, you're going to be a surgeon or whatever. But there's certain things. It's just like most of the stuff that makes the world go round, kind of like it's better like hands-on trade stuff where they can do it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, and then when I was in school, I was put in a like a in a what do you call it? Like they called it field lighthouse, but it's just like a gifted and talented kind of like program. Like they saw that I was smart, and then they kind of pulled me away from the other children and put me in this program with these other children. So I would go to normal school, and then I would go to that, and I realized how like they introduced us to like adding and subtracting like integers, like negative and positive integers and stuff, like really, really early. And even though I didn't understand it right away, some of the children did understand it. And they introduced it to us like 5 years before all the other children in regular school. And I remember thinking like, just introduce it to all of us.
Yeah.
And let who was going to get it. Like, but so we can just do that kind of stuff. And we don't have to hope that the teacher is gonna, or I don't have to go undo what the teacher just did or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want to have to do that. And I don't want to have to tell them all the time either that I don't want to be that person either, like the debunker or whatever. I just want them to learn it right from the beginning and then whatever. So you know what I mean? Like
the debunker. Well, yeah.
I don't want to be like that.
No, I feel you. You don't want to go in there being like, listen, you stop telling my kids about Thanksgiving the way you're telling them about Thanksgiving, please.
Yeah.
Just please.
And we celebrate. We celebrate Thanksgiving. We don't call it Christmas. We call it Children's Day. But still, we get that we don't want to be like, hey, kid. You know what I mean? Like Santa, I mean, they know Santa isn't real. We never taught them that. Like they think that shit is ridiculous. But like still, like they're gonna get some gifts though. We're not gonna leave them out and have them feeling like my parents were so deep and I couldn't, you know what I mean?
We didn't enjoy Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas missed us.
Christmas missed us. Like our tree was a fern, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I don't want to do them like that. So those are some of the reasons.
Stop
it's a myriad
about
of reasons.
Pocahontas like a love story. Yeah.
Like a love. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And now there's some issue that people are taking with some of the new narrative around slavery. And they're kind of like teaching it like we were like plantation workers and indentured, servants. And I'm like, I'm not saying that there was no kind of slavery that existed like that. God knows there was. But in America, not so much. Like the slavery was the real kind where they just whipped your ass and killed you if you didn't do the thing. You know what I mean? And that was that. Like, so I don't, just teach it like it is. And then there's that too. Like, I also don't want them to feel like, you inherited this. Like when they do teach you about yourself in school as a Black person, it's slavery. Like it's the civil rights movement. It's all around. All of our accomplishments are centered around us trying to break free of some kind of bondage. And there's just a lot of shit we did that doesn't have anything to do with that.
Right.
And so I mean, we wanted to start them right from the beginning, just with where they're not bogged down by any of that stuff, but they're aware of it. They're totally aware. We don't hold any punches with them. You know what I'm saying? Like they get it, but I don't know.
Yeah, there is sort of this, hey, Floyd Vader, welcome in.
Floyd Vader.
Peace and blessings to you.
What's up?
There is this sort of watering down of the past that I don't know, hey, thank you for that follow, Floyd Vader. Appreciate that. There's this sort of, I have a problem with that too. This idea that like there's this group of people in Texas who are creating this this whole what do you call it? The curriculum, about history and all this stuff. And it's just a small group of people in Texas who are like making the curriculum for the whole country. Whereas maybe, hey, Tweetessa, thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate that. And it almost seems like maybe, I know that you're just trying to make like a universal, uniformed curriculum that, the whole country can kind of go by. But when you have a small group of mostly Caucasian people in Texas, who is like which is, this is just historically a red state that might not have the best interest of a wide variety of spectrum that America is. And so just on that level, it's just like, what do you expect to come out of this?
Right.
We gotta have a better way of doing it. Hey, thank you so much, Patty Bear.
Hey,
I
the
appreciate
gang
you
is all
being
here.
Hey, the gang is here. Let's do it. Let's go. Thank you guys
Yes.
so much for those follows. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for coming on over and
Hey,
hanging
and
out.
Floyd, Patty, Floyd and Patty for sure are like big time like musicians from Hades, from heaven though, not from Hades, from heaven.
From
Just
heaven.
want to throw that out there, like amazing people. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful.
there's
Welcome.
a lot of musicians in this stream and chat right now. Y'all make sure y'all follow We Speak English Good and follow Reina Mystique, please.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna shout out Reina Mystique because
shout her out.
She won't shout out herself.
Oh,
she's just that kind of person.
Octavia.
Thank you so much for that follow,
yeah,
Octavia.
I do that. You remember the Activia commercial? Like Activia.
Is that the yogurt that makes you poop?
The yogurt that makes you poop, yo.
Nice. That's.
I knew you were gonna. I was like, I don't know. I know he's gonna know. I know he's gonna know. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, Jamie Lee, out there slanging yogurt. Thank you, Jamie Lee. Thank you. No, but there is that problem, and you know, like one thing I can speak to is my son who because of the pandemic we started homeschooling, but this is we wanted to homeschool since the beginning, but he was really interested in going to school. You know, he was really interested. He liked preschool and he had friends who were going to school, so he really wanted to go, and it worked for our schedule, so whatever, we went for it. And my God, after about the second or third day, he just came home just beaten, you know, just not like physically, just like mentally.
I know what you mean.
And just like the veil had been pulled. He's like, I can't go to the bathroom without asking permission. It's like, I can't do anything. I have to stay seated and stay. Like he just not how he had learned, you know, to that point. And when he saw what was happening, and then when he saw, like, you know, the dynamics of how the kids got along, and it was very confusing for him, and he had a hard time with it. And then, you know, he got through kindergarten and then first grade and then the pandemic. So when he came home and we started, you know, doing homeschooling because we had to, we realized on how far behind, at least to our standards, he was in reading. Like he didn't even they don't even teach kids to sound shit out anymore. Missy Hippie, thank you so much for that host and welcome in. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Right.
But he didn't even, like, they don't even teach kids how to sound shit out anymore. It's like hunks and chunks or whatever they're calling it. It's just, which is fine. It's just a new way of learning, but it's just like, he didn't even, oh my gosh. No, you're fine.
Sorry for interruption.
You're totally fine.
No, you're fine.
You're totally cool. Mrs. Hippie, thank you so much for that sub, and this is for you.
Hello and welcome to We Speak English Good TV. I'm your announcer, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now please, put your fists in the air. Wave them like you do not care. For your host, Mike EP.
Thank you, Jean-Claude. I appreciate that. And thank you, Missy Hippie. We appreciate your...
What up, Jean?
Hey.
That's my dude.
Jean-Claude, man. Oh, dude, that's my mom's dude, too.
That's my dude.
My mom loves Jean-Claude and Steven Seagal. Doesn't matter how fat Steven gets, though. She's like, that's still my man. That's still my man.
Steven, I don't know I don't know. He's one of those actors. He's one of those people where you just like, you know, he's a meme, but it's I don't know. For one, he's amazing. He actually really can fight.
He does know karate.
Yeah,
and he was a cop, too. A real cop.
Yeah, and he does like Aikido. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He will.
He's legit.
He really can fuck you up. Bad.
Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah. So, but you know, he's got his ponytail, and I don't know. It's fun. But see what you were just saying about the
he's got his ponytail. It's fun.
It is fun. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? He owns his shit. Like I can always appreciate. What's up, Scon?
Scon, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I appreciate you. I
already work here. Like, what's up? Welcome in. Make sure you host.
Host train.
But that was the thing too. The academia. I'm not. This is going to be so cocky. What I'm about to say. It really is. He said, "Don't say it." No, I'm going to say it.
You should.
I'm going to grab my nuts when I say it.
Do it.
I'm smarter than most of the teachers.
Oh, please. That's easy. We know that.
It. You know what I'm saying? So it's like and I don't know it because I went and interviewed them all. It's just that I've been on Earth long enough to know. And then what you were just saying too about, I don't know, when we were in school, I think I'm taking for granted how good we kind of had it. Like school was good. I don't mean it was good. I mean, like, it was more like, okay, you had to keep a notebook. Like, you know what I mean? You had like, and then we had like the trapper keepers.
Yeah.
Like, you took pride in like keeping your notebooks and shit a certain way. I know it's different because there's phones. So that obviously just technology, that's not the teacher's fault. Technology is going to change the way. But because we didn't have all the knowledge at our fingertips, it made us appreciate it more. When I was younger, people would go around door to door and they would sell encyclopedias, Encyclopedia Britannica,
right.
And you would buy a set of encyclopedias and it was like a nice thing to own. And I remember being a child and I remember reading the encyclopedia. I loved it. I loved reading through the encyclopedias and they had the pictures and the dinosaur. I love the dinosaurs and I loved outer space. And I just studied it. Now when I taught for 4 years. There's like a kind of historically Black section of our city called 35th Street. It doesn't have like its own name, but 35th Street area is it's run down now, and it's actively kind of being gentrified. But at the same time, the Black businesses are starting to return, so it's like an interesting dynamic that's happening there. But I love it, and I'm here for it. But when I was there, so I taught for 4 years there with a bunch of other people. We kind of had like a homeschool thing, but it wasn't homeschool at this point. It was like at a place, and there was like tuition. Like we kind of made our own little private school, basically.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
really
cool.
But we did it under a dude that already was doing that. He came from Georgia, and then he was doing it, and blah blah blah. So while doing that, I learned a lot of the kids were from
Chronicles. Thank you so much for that.
That's my boo. Welcome in, boo. He right here.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Let
me come personally. Thank you now.
Hey.
Welcome in.
TOS. Let's go.
Welcome in. Also, I've popped in on your show before, but y'all were having like, it was like deep and serious. So I thought this shit was like deep and serious. And now I know you are a fool. I have got to show my face a lot more.
Deep and
I
serious.
will be here.
How deep and serious? God, I mean, because it gets deep and serious.
No, it was, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I had no idea when I would see your emotes. I saw your emotes were fun, but I didn't realize that I didn't know it was going down like this. Like this is a whole I fit right in.
It's ridiculous here. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so I don't know. So when I was teaching these kids, that's when I saw like a lot of them were there from public school because it was the same thing. Their parents were frustrated with public school. Either they were told that their kid was ADD or something, and they felt like I don't think my child is, but now it might become like a CPS issue if I choose to like refuse to medicate my child or whatever. Like it can get really sticky when you start talking about some of that stuff. So we had a wide range of people there that were there for different reasons, but a lot of them were from public school, and I saw how dumb they were. I mean, like I saw it and I was like, wow, they're not really, school has really dwindled. But finding good help is just a thing here in our country, just in general. It's not just school. It's not just finding good teachers. It's finding good garbage men, good anything. Like everyone is just dumb. I mean, and we're opinionated about it. You know what I mean? So that's what's
dumb and full of opinions. That's a great combination.
We have a really strong view about being stupid and dumb, and
we embrace it. Which is strange.
Yeah. So it's like the Book of Eli to me. Like like the Book of Eli is a movie about a dude that remembers religion and shit. You know what I mean? And now they're living in a post-apocalyptic world where no one remembers Christianity but a few people. And the people who remember it are using it as a weapon or trying to use it as a weapon over the other people. That's how I feel. I feel like, not so much the weapon part. Well, that too, but like
I feel like it's weaponized.
Well, that too. But the fact that we're kind of actually on purpose breeding dummies, and we don't, as long as they're good consumers, no one really cares that they're going to be productive. And I don't know, I have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Too. So we with our children, we just got right to it. Like I'm a graphic designer. It's one of the most, I think you might be, from the way your stuff is set up, I think you might be, at least have some graphic design chops.
A little bit, yes.
You can attest to the fact that it's one of the most valuable skills that you probably have, like as a streamer, just as an adult who's a part of society. Being able to make a thumbnail, being able to make a flyer, being able to remove a background from a picture and whip that bitch through Canva real quick.
Hell yeah.
It's a real asset. And then I have people, wanting to pay me, hanging on my every word as I'm teaching them how to make emotes. And I'm like, I don't want my children. I want my children. Let's skip.
Mhm.
Let's skip after we hit algebra, maybe. Like, we don't really have to go too much further than that. Like let's save some room in your brain for shit that you can use it becoming, as you're going forward. Like, and there's just a lot of stuff that they learn that I just don't think they can do anything with in school.
Yeah. Yeah, especially this idea of training children to work at factory jobs that are quickly diminishing here.
That's right.
Stateside. This whole idea that we're still training kids to sit down, look forward, listen for the
That's
bell, so you know when it's time to eat, so you know when it's time to shit, when you know when it's time
That's
to
right.
go, and when it's time to say hi. Getting kids trained to sort of be workers in this cog of a machine that's not going to exist seems so utterly pointless. Like we want consumers, and it's just, there's a lot to this whole situation.
Sure
That's
is.
kind of, how are we going to be consumers if we are not producing anything?
Come on,
and
talk your shit.
if we're not producing anything here, especially in America, I mean, when the pandemic went down, we couldn't even buy Q-tips. We couldn't buy fucking cotton in America. Which,
ironic.
Come on, what the fuck happened there? And the most disgusting thing is now we buy cotton from a country that enslaves people. We're literally buying cotton that is picked by slaves.
Yep.
And so I don't know how we're going to have good consumers if we're living in a world that doesn't produce anything, or living in a country that doesn't produce any of their own things. And we're not motivating people to make new things because, trades and stuff, that you don't need trades. Go to school and go into the humanities and learn about how to be as woke as possible. And then you can get a job doing that. I bet that's going to be great. I bet that's going to work out really good.
Right.
And nothing against that whole movement. I appreciate what's happening now, but there is still this idea that you can go to college for this and have this huge lucrative career off of this, and I think that's bullshit. And like you're saying, there's a lot of things that don't need to be there. Pop it, what's up? Good to see you. I don't understand why we are going in this trajectory of trying to make consumers when we have to rely on the entire world to produce the things that we're trying to consume. It seems like it's going to collapse within itself. It would be better if we were trying to make consumers that were consuming products that were made here by people like our neighbors, instead of people that we never know, have no emotional connection to. It just seems really strange to me. And I know I'm kind of going into the direction of like economics and stuff, but it's still that's what
we're talking about. How are we going to we're talking about homeschooling our children and why we do it. And one of my reasons anyway is because I don't want to make that type of child. I don't want to make a lemming type of, and it doesn't mean, let me clearly say this right now. I have nothing but the utmost respect for anyone in education, anyone sincere in education. It's not easy. I know we're preaching to the choir. I know a lot of times people who teach certain curriculum don't really want to. I know a lot of you as teachers are tired of teaching so that these kids can just pass this certain test just so they can get funding for the school. And it's not really about necessarily what they're learning. It's just about the numbers on this test. There's all this kind of stuff that teachers have to face. There's all this kind of things that all kinds of advice that the children could use that the teachers can't give because it would step on legal, toes. There's all kinds of stuff. And then school is a refuge for some children who are being abused, who are at the crib being molested, and some more shit. So I'm not and thank God for school for some of these kids. So I'm not putting everything in some kind of stereotypical box, but I know what I know from my own experience. I was a very academic person. I was always, D.L. Hughley said this. D.L. Hughley said, I'm the only one in my house that didn't go to college, and I'm supporting all these motherfuckers. Like, I'm paying, you know what I mean? Everyone else has a degree and they don't have jobs. They don't know what to get out here and do. And that was me even for a while. I went to art school. I went to Maryland Institute College of Art. I got an illustration, graphic design type of degree. It's actually very useful for me, but my degree doesn't have anything to do with it. No one hires me because of that. No one books me to do anything that I do because of that degree. They book me because of the product. They see that I know how to design a fucking flyer and they'll book me to do it. same with voice acting, whatever. They don't care if I went to Full Sail University or not, which I didn't,
Right.
to know how to engineer my shit. They hear it, they like how it sounds, they like my voice, and they feel like they can apply it to their product, their thing they're selling, whatever it is. So that's what I want them to be like. And they're like that. The children are like that. They don't know anything but productivity. All they've ever seen us do is make things with our hands, write up things. You know, my husband has a whole book that he sells that he just made that we just made together, but they have never known anything different. And I look at just how my parents, just being as musical as they were, how much that influenced me, and I didn't realize how much that was going to influence me growing up. I did not know I was going to be a musician, but I don't know why I didn't know it. Like when I look at my upbringing, I should be one. You know what I mean? So I guess I'll let that be a segue to whatever else you want to say, brother man.
No, well, yeah, exactly. I love that what you said, Scon. There is like I always tell students, no one's checking your transcripts on Broadway, and that is the thing. And you know, like on the show, I do say it, and some people don't like it, but you know, like if you're thinking about going to college for something that you can learn on your own and you can avoid years of debt, like life crushing debt, like literally like serious crushing debt that you cannot get out of unless you become a quadriplegic.
That's right.
So, or die, right? You either die or become a quadriplegic, and then you get out of that. You can't file for bankruptcy. Like this debt is with you forever, and it's constantly accumulating interest. So, if there is a way to do the profession you want to do without accumulating that kind of debt at the beginning of that so-called beginning of your adult life, I mean, I would do it, because it's like, man, I'm still dealing with debt, you know, with student debt, and I didn't even graduate college, but like what I do, like when I get hired, no one cares about my college. No one gives a shit. It's like, does he show up on time? Does he know the music? Does he know? Can we rely on this person to show up and do what we ask him to do and do it well? Yes, we can. Call that motherfucker right now, you know? And so that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I unless you're going to be a doctor or a fucking lawyer or something, it's like, man, avoid it at all costs. Now, and then again, if you are looking just to get a job in the world and just do that, there's nothing wrong with going to college, getting a 4-year degree just so you can have a little bit more up on the next guy. But man, make sure that degree is in something that's going to be useful, because you're going to be paying for that piece of paper for a long time. So make sure it's what you want and that you're going to have a career in it, because I don't know who's going to school right now in the humanities department and who's going into philosophy and is like, I'm going to be a philosopher, you know, and like really going out and killing it. You know, they're working at McDonald's right now because
they are, and they're pissed, and they're in debt. They're in debt.
They're in debt.
I'm in debt. I'm totally in debt. And you know, I don't. Sometimes I'm like, you guys, and good luck with getting that money from me, you guys.
Right. Sometimes it's like,
what do you want me to do? You know, and I'm talking shit, and I went to school for something that I use in my life. You know, I would not trade my college experience. I really loved. I loved going to college. I loved getting away from my parents and getting to have my own, you know, becoming a woman type of initiation, where you go out in the world, and it was nice. But I went to an art school. It was full of people like me and you, bunch of weirdos, a bunch of nerds. It wasn't a typical experience. It was really governor school again, because I went to governor school for 4 years and did all the.
What's governor school?
Governor school is something that a lot of states have, and it's a state sanctioned arts and humanity. Well, not humanities, but arts thing. Like you know, I don't know if you remember the show Fame, you know, but it's art high school basically.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like Tupac and Jada Pinkett went to like a governor school. Questlove in Mel LaRoe.
This was in Baltimore.
They went in Baltimore. My school's in Baltimore, and that school that Tupac and them went to, is in Baltimore.
In Baltimore.
But I live in Virginia. The school I went to is in Virginia.
Gotcha.
I went to ODU in Norfolk State. What they would do, the program took place at the two colleges one of the two colleges that are out here in Norfolk. Norfolk State is like a historic like HBCU, and then ODU is just ODU. But so I went there for 4 years. I went to regular high school, and then after lunch I would go get on a bus, and then I would go to ODU or Norfolk State. And then our teachers were, you called them by their first names there. You could kind of cuss around them. Some of the kids would be like smoking cigarettes and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like college already. And then I went to art college and had that experience again. So and again, that was kind of my first Twitch type of world, because it was a culture shock. Like no one, you know, when I went there, like most of us weren't black. Everyone was weird. The kids that went there before me knew each other already. So yeah, I just felt really, really weird until I realized how much I fit in that crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, it was, but that's the stuff that I use in my life. All the stuff I learned in art, all the stuff I learned trade wise. Other than that, the things I learned in high school, let me not do that. I can write really well and I speak well, and I speak English good because of school, you know. But and so I'm saying that to say, because I don't want to imply that, oh, you know, like when people get around, like speak English. Like I don't like when people do that. Like you're in the Chinese restaurant, like getting fucking Kung Pao chicken, and you're mad because they're speaking Cantonese and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you want Chinese food, and you want authentic Chinese food. It's like, well, I want you to speak Chinese over my fucking Chinese food.
Just give me the number, give me the price, and everything else. I don't want to understand it at all.
I don't want to know what you just said. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just give me that fire.
Just put it in my food. Like
exactly.
I want that raw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't want to imply that, oh, I learned how to speak English so good from school, and I don't mean it that way, but it's a fucking skill though. Like I use it. I'm a voice actor for a living, so that it's totally applicable.
Yeah, good diction is very important when you're recording voiceover stuff.
Yeah, it is, and as a writer for sure, I've made money, you know, with my ability to write and stuff. So you know, good for you, you know, if that's what you're into, but it just. There's more to like. The child's development needs to be more cultural for me, for sure, and it definitely needs to equip you for what the world is really like. You know what I mean? And I think the public school system is outdated. You know what I mean? They haven't upgraded it much. You know, and now everyone's worried about making sure the children know how to be PC though. Yeah, they're making sure they understand that, and that's cool. But it's almost making them into some sheep type people too, where like how they really feel, they're scared to say it because they don't want to offend anyone or whatever it is. And then Dave Chappelle talks a lot about this as a comedian, like how it's destroying comedy. Like a person can't even crack a joke. And I know you can relate to this. You probably say things that offend people sometimes because you're funny. Yeah. And same with me. I'll say something and they'll go, oh, and everyone will be like, well, wait a minute. And I'm like, you know, just my bad, you guys, like, haha, you know,
it's supposed to be
LOL.
Funny.
Yeah.
No, so, you're absolutely right about that. This whole PC movement that's sort of I mean, like I have a friend who has a daughter who is who's pansexual, and she got ousted of her friend circle because she didn't believe that a certain new phrase was you know, they said like they're what was it? I don't want to say the exact thing that they said because I don't want it to come back to her and them, but it was like I'm a pumpkin sexual, and she was like, wait, that's not real. That pumpkin sexual is not real. And they're like, yes, it is. And they got really offended, and then they called her a homophobe, and then they ostracized her from the group because they had this new pumpkin sexual thing that was, you know, that made no sense to her. And she told her, you know, she told her truths, and she got reprimanded for it. And it's very and when you are looking at it, when it, you know, that's just a little girl in one little place. But when you're looking at it on a world scale, when you're seeing artists who are like, because Dave Chappelle, they tried canceling him for saying the things he says, you know, but Dave Chappelle's a monster, so there's no canceling Dave Chappelle. But there's people out there who are just making posts on their Facebooks and they lose their record deals, and they do, you know, and I'm not saying that some of the shit that people are saying doesn't deserve that, but I definitely think that some of the shit has gone too far. I mean, like it's just you're taking away your
we've got to let people disagree. We got to let
exactly.
people. There's no way that I'm gonna be. I was saying this earlier because I guess it's just one of those days. I'm just in this kind of mood. So good.
Hey, let's go.
I'm a Black woman, so I don't know what it's like to be a white man. I don't know what it's like to be, an Asian child or, a fat belly dancer or an astronaut or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know what it's like. That doesn't mean I need to disrespect those things, but I also can't be expected to know what it's like to be those things and to always sympathize or empathize with everything that, especially since as a Black woman, I'm used to motherfuckers not sympathizing and empathizing with my shit. I'm used to that shit. So it's like y'all need to get a little bit of skin on you, but a little tougher skin, man. Life is not, and it's crippling. Speaking of relationships and what you played before we went on, thank you for playing that. I forgot about that video. It was funny.
I love that video. That's really, it was really good. Like I was really into that for sure. I was like, oh,
thank you.
Like
I try to give some real advice. Hey, Mermaid Serenade. I found out about Mermaid Serenade from you guys, so thank you. That's one of the awesome people. But I was saying in that particular video, I was talking about how I forgot what I was going to say. I think I was talking about people not being able to always relate to. That's what I was going to say about looking for your mate to fulfill you. Like your husband and wife they cannot fulfill you. Right. They can feel you, but they can't fulfill you. Right. All right. They can't fulfill you. Only you can do that. And I think one of the negative side effects of the PC movement, because it has a lot of positivity with it too. I don't want to just, lump it, but the pendulum swinging too far in any direction is always bad. Right. Because it's just not balanced. So you're teaching, to me, we're teaching children and this newer generation to feel like, if this person doesn't agree with me, or like, I don't know, somehow the fact that you think that you can cancel anyone, that term, like it's a subscription. You feel me? Like it's fucking Hulu, fam. It's a person, dude.
BlakGurlGamr, you're canceled.
Yes.
Can't believe you said that. You hurt my feelings and you're canceled. Nothing wrong with your feelings being hurt, but I'm canceled, fam. Like I don't exist. Like X, like red X. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a person, and knowing how to disagree with people and how to let someone else's opinion balance yours is a skill, and it's important. And it's important in society. We shouldn't all be expected to feel a certain way about things. How can you expect a real devout Christian, let's say, to think it's okay for a woman to go and get a dick and then go smash another man and then a man and a woman? Like, I'm not saying you're wrong because you want to do that. I'm saying, how can you expect the pastor, the person who was raised all their lives, literally, to think that that's an abomination or it's wrong or whatever? That doesn't mean that they don't need to be taught to respect the existence of that. But there's a difference between that and actually accepting most of the people who say, hey, you guys, no homophobia here, no da-da-da, still harbor some kind of prejudice because they're a human. But they would rather, they don't want to be, it doesn't matter how they really feel. They don't want you to think they feel a way. And to me, that's a slippery slope, because it's not about how you actually feel. It's about what's okay to say and what's not okay to say. And it's sheep herding. It's not true political correctness, because to me, it's not always coming from a place of respect. Sometimes it's just coming from a place of fear of being canceled. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And I don't want anyone to understand my plight because they're scared. If you really feel like all Black people are some pickaninny porch monkeys, I would rather just feel like I would just rather know that you feel that way, because I actually can respect that more because it's real. That's how you actually feel. Right. So at least it's a real thing. It's not your representative. It's you. Like, right. So I can accept a person. It's like, hey, I'm from Alabama. My pop raised me to feel like this. I may be wrong, but that's where I'm at with it. I have so much respect for that shit. I have no problem with that. I don't need you to agree with me for me to be whole, or for me to, and I don't want you to, and vice versa. I don't want you to require that of me. I don't want anyone to require for them to be able to love me. You know what I mean? Yeah. That means that they have to agree with my every whim. Right.
My every fart, they have to like the way it smells, and I don't want that. I want you to be like, that shit stinks.
Yeah.
But I still love you.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Exactly. There's this.
Ain't that right, Ava?
It's shit stinks, but I love you. It's okay. Um, like you can hold someone accountable and also have forgiveness and move forward, whereas canceling is too final. Girl speaking nothing but truth. I agree with you, Grim.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this idea that the problem also, and I know that this always gets like people are always like, come on, but like this idea that you can't speak how you feel, and there's this fear, and there's this notion that if you're gonna go along with, saying things you don't believe in and acting ways that you don't actually feel, if you're going to do it about this, then someone can do it about that as well. And then maybe,
Yes.
so this is like, this is nice. We're just trying to teach people to get along, have empathy, and love your neighbor, even if they are different from you. And then there's that which can go a little bit further, where it's like, now it's time to eliminate the neighbors who do not agree with you because they are, they are deplorables, or they are,
Right.
they are less than. And so now they have become less than human. And now it's okay when those people have horrible things happen to them. When you see
Right.
people who, there's this guy they called Mr. Anti-Vax in Florida who just passed away from COVID. And I'm laughing because it's just very funny. But people, a man died, and now people on Twitter are taking full advantage of the irony. And
Right.
who gives a fuck if he died? That someone's dead. That their
Yeah.
family is now decimated, and like a whole bunch of horrible things that come with it. People are actually happy and celebrating this, and we're sort of dehumanizing each other by putting them in this camp of other, and put them in this camp of you don't think this way because you don't
Right.
agree with me. Now you are other. Now you are a Trump supporter. Now you are an anti-vaxxer. Now you are,
Right.
you're anti-masker. Now you're this. Now you're less than a human. And now it's okay if something horrible happens to you, or if maybe someone from the government just comes and takes you away, because you know what?
That's right.
You're not with us. You're them. You're an
That's right.
other.
It's the Red Scare. I mean,
It
it's
is.
but what's crazy about it is you're red scaring me about not being open-minded. You're being closed-minded about being open-minded. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're mad because I'm not open-minded to wanting to put like everything in my butt or whatever it is that we need to be open-minded to this week. And now you're gonna be closed-minded toward me about that. You have no room in your heart to accept that some people don't accept the thing you accept.
Yes.
I don't know. There is no spoon. I just thought I'd throw that in there. It's not even relevant, but I just like to say it. So you know what I mean? And I have a problem with that. There's no healing there. There's no healing in everyone being scared to just say, well, no, I think it's cool. I can respect that you feel this way, but I can't, and then to act like there's such an invalid argument behind, like to treat people like because they can't understand weird things or things that have been traditionally seen as weird. Like, give people a chance to come around to stuff. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't expect. I don't know what people want. What do you want from us? Like, I
don't think they know what they want, because the goalpost keeps moving. Like, like the today's social justice warriors, tomorrow's canceled fucking white supremacists. Like it's serious, and they're black. Like it's so interesting when black especially black intellectuals get labeled as white supremacists. Like, it's very strange to me, and I understand what they're saying, that they're espousing things that that come from the white patriarchy and all that stuff.
Whatever.
I get where they're coming from, but it's also like this is just a person expressing their opinion, and fuck you, like, and because they're black, they have to like sort of tout the party lines, you know what I mean? Like, because they're black, they can't be conservative in their thinking, like,
that's right.
It's very strange to me. It's
when
like,
really we for one, the political parties have changed. People who know about history know that they switched. The Republic was different. The Republicans it's like literally like Star Wars. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Jedi's fought for the Republic at first.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the enemy took over and it just switched everything up. But it's just one of those things where I've learned that there's actually quite a lot of conservative views that Black people hold, which is something that the Trump administration, the Republicans finally figured out how to use us to get, like they finally figured it out. Like, let me stop being so racist. Let some Black people speak this stuff and we'll get a lot more followers that way. Because there are a lot of Black people who feel we were raised in the South, you know, because of slavery. A lot of us are from the South. And so a lot of those viewpoints, we share them. You know, most Black people my age, you know, your grandma and your mama and stuff is Christians. And, you know, they don't think certain things should be popping off either. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But because they're being told that, well, you're Black, so you're supposed to be a Democrat, said Joe Biden. You know what I mean? If you Black and you ain't a Democrat, what is you doing? That's what he said.
No, he said you ain't Black.
You ain't Black.
He said. That's what he said.
To quote him, right? So I hate all that shit.
Fuck that guy.
And you know, there's a lot of stuff I don't say. There's a lot of stuff I'm not all into. I have a lot of skepticism about the vaccine, about and I know a lot of stuff. I really come from a conspiracy theory background. I've just put a lot of that. I could tell. I put a lot of that aside because I'm trying to. Speaking of homeschooling and things like that, I'm in my own homeschool. I'm trying to do what works. I'm not trying to argue anymore. I'm not trying to argue with Blacks or whites about none of this shit. I'm getting too old. It's not getting us anywhere. You're just gonna turn around and go home and watch Netflix and Hulu. And you're even gonna watch some shows that have negative Black caricatures and all that in it, and you're gonna enjoy it too. So shut the fuck up. And that's where I'm at with it. I got babies. Well, they're not babies now, but in my mind, they're gonna always be babies. And I don't have time. You know, I don't. As a Black person, one of the things that we deal with the most. Once you start, I guess, getting aware and start studying history, is that you see that it's just the same thing over and over and over and over. It's Groundhog's Day. Our strides are it take a long time to make a step, and then we party. There's an episode of the Boondocks. I'm brilliant. When Aaron McGruder was the primary writer, those seasons are brilliant. Yeah. They're just masterpieces.
The first three.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And particularly the first two.
The first one in particular for me.
The first one in particular,
the first two, absolutely.
But
first two, yeah.
So, you know, there's one episode where Riley is playing the And One basketball. And he's about to join. It's like the Mighty Ducks episode. And you know, Tom is hosting the basketball team. They suck. They're called the Timid Deer, the Deers or whatever, from Timid Deer Lane. And
the Deers.
They suck. You know, they're nerds, and so here comes Riley. He's all from the hood and shit. Yeah. He knows how to. He's not good at basketball, but he's good at trick, you know, crossovers and shit like that. Yeah. So first he's crossing, you know, and it's just a big metaphor. It's just a big metaphor. I love what he's doing here. Yeah. There's a scene where, you know, Granddad is telling Riley, like, look, man, you know, that's cute that you can do all that, but you got to learn how to shoot the ball. Like, you actually have to learn how to shoot just a basic free throw, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he finally makes this one shot. He stops in the middle of the game and starts cheering. And he said, he starts like accepting an award. Like he shoots the ball. He turns. He's like, I like to thank my granddad. I like to thank. And so then the other team goes around him and, you know, and they win. That's what we do. That's what we do. And I'm not trying to roast us, you know, blacks who are listening, like, how dare her tell this white man these things about us? Everyone can see us, you guys. Like, you know, I can hear you, right? Like, you know, we can see you, right? Everyone can see us, you guys. We're doing the same shit over and over. And we're speaking this and we're giving the same lectures over and over. Now, not all of us. There's those of us like us who are like, okay, let's continue. You know what I mean? Let's continue to advance this thing instead of, you know what I mean? You would think we just got the ability to drink from these water fountains like yesterday or whatever. Like, I mean, that's cute, but we should have kept going. And it's like we stopped there. Like, we got really satisfied with that. Mm-hmm. and we started wanting, once we were able to integrate, a lot of us just started wanting that only. It's just like, okay, I want to sit at this table. And the idea of making our own table and dictating who gets to sit at that table, it's like it's just occurring to us. Or for those who, there's always been those of us who've been thought this, but like, I don't know. So I'm done. So that means though that I don't want to talk with nobody about nothing.
Yeah.
How long am I going to study for this fucking test? Like, you feel what I mean? Like, I'm tired of reading about this shit. I'm tired of studying this shit. I'm tired of complaining. I'm tired of feeling some kind of way, happy, sad. I don't want to feel any of these feelings. I just want to make progress. And I want everyone to come. Pause. Sorry.
Me too.
Isn't that what we all want? But I but I want those who want to be there to be there. And that's it. I'm not trying to convince anyone. If you don't want to drink from this stream of, the stream of whatever the fuck it's called, like, then good, fine. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy Hulu. I'm going to enjoy it, but we need to get something done. And I don't want to sit around with and hash until I'm old and gray, and just to have someone kill me, and that's what he was trying to say with the Martin Luther King episode. Like, we always talk about Martin Luther King, but this motherfucker would hate us if he was here.
Yeah.
Looking at what we've done with the legacy of just that small step of just making it so we can come in because I know people feel like, that's a big step, but it should be a small step. It should be in light of our progress, that should just be one little step, but it's a huge step because we haven't done much else since it. And that's the problem.
Are you familiar with Thomas Sowell? Thomas Sowell. He writes about this. He's a black intellectual, and he's very hated by a lot of the left because, and by black people, and because he sort of holds the culture accountable, and he goes after rap music, and he goes after that, and I'm not saying I agree with him, but it's just something I read.
But we can't leave it out. But we can't leave out. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because we can't leave it out. We can't start with it. We can't start with hip hop. By that I mean, hold us accountable. But it's just like anything. You're going to get to the root of something. Then we got to go, look, this, can you hand me your book? So I love my baby daddy because so we're from the Zulu Nation. Like, we were Zulu Nation chapter 30.
Oh, wow.
That's how I know Floyd Vader and stuff like that. So my children have known nothing but b-boying and beat making and MCing and stuff like all their lives.
Yeah.
Every Friday, people spinning on their heads. I mean, they've seen people do every manner of six step. I mean, we've had all kind of famous b-boys and stuff like come through our house, and cool stuff. You know what I mean, or whatever. But so in being in the Zulu Nation, part of our job was to teach hip hop and to make people aware that it's a culture and da. What he learned in his research was that so this book is called Offstage, right? It's called Offstage: The Culture of Hip Hop Before the Elements.
Okay.
That's him right there.
Oh, does.
With his cut sleeve and stuff. So I designed it. He wrote it. I did the preface, and it's just dope. So what the book is about, this is why I'm proud of. I would have been proud of him anyway, because I sleep
What's
with
the
him.
name of it again? I ain't be fucking nobody I ain't proud of. It's like, wait, what's the name of it? It's called
Offstage. And this book was named by Professor Griff from Public Enemy, right? Actually named the book. He's in here. We brought him down to speak, and Fats was telling him what his book was about. Culture Chronicles was telling him what his book was about. And Professor Griff was like, hey, you should call it Offstage. And he was like, yes. So
what's the subtitle? I want to drop a link.
Oh, that's cool. Offstage: The Culture of Hip Hop Before the Elements. Now, let me give a disclaimer. Let me give a hood disclaimer right now. Right now, our website is down. Normally, normally you can order the ebook if you want it. Like, if you wanted to start reading it today, you can get the ebook. The ebook is $9.99. This is $19.99 if you want it. But you can get the get the ebook. You still can pull it up.
Where's
I'm just saying, normally, it's on Amazon. It's on Barnes and Nobles.
I couldn't find it. Offstage: The Culture of Hip Hop.
The Culture of Hip Hop Before the Elements.
Oh, Before the Elements.
It'll come up, and I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because it's Amazon. Because I'm so accustomed to, that they can't come to our website.
Oh, she already found it.
She found it.
She already
Thank you, Reina.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't rely on my mod. I'm just like,
I'm the same way. I don't
Hey,
like to ask my mods to do stuff.
Roadhouse, welcome. Robbie, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Is it a Roadhouse?
Yeah.
Well,
a
hey,
Roadhouse.
baby. Hey, what's up, boo?
Welcome in.
So anyway, but this book is about the fact that hip hop as a culture is a culture and it predates the music. And that a lot of times when we start talking about hip hop as a culture, we start having a lot of arguments with each other because we start saying, well, for instance, this is a perfect example. Lil Wayne joined the Zulu Nation, or was asked to join the Zulu Nation toward the end before all this crazy shit happened with Bambaataa and all that shit. And a lot of the people in the Zulu Nation were perturbed because he's Lil Wayne, and they felt like he shouldn't be allowed to join, right? Is he hip hop? Was the question, like real hip hop?
Yeah.
And so the argument was never solved because, well, for one, who are we to tell somebody, whether they're hip hop or not? But at the same time, hip hop is not just a music, right? It's a culture. And so his point is, we haven't fleshed that out enough. So he was born August 10th, 1973. The party where hip hop supposedly started was August 11th, 1973. So that's late in the game. The Black Spades and the Ghetto Brothers and shit have been laid the groundwork for hip hop by the time that party starts. But because and the 5% Nation, by the time we get around to this party, so much other shit has happened centered around race. That's the thing, literally centered around race. The Bronx was white. Integration happened. A few Black families moved into the Bronx. The white families didn't like it. They moved out. More white families started moving out. Robert Moses was assigned the task of building all the projects and building that big ass highway.
The highway that went right through it to separate,
the segregate, the racist ass highway that he built.
That was like legit racism. That was some legit like racist ass highway. I read a whole book on that. I was like, oh dear God, how the fuck
he's in here?
Happen?
Where is he at? Robert
Moses. What a fucking horrible human being.
And then he's this diabolical person. Like when you read about him,
legit diabolical human
even the
being.
other white people were like, well, hey man, you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? But he was a car culture. He was for car culture, and he was for, so he didn't care about what you about to say, man?
I was about to say it's before where you at.
It's before. I'm skimming back in now. Right up in here. I got to show this big picture of this big evil. Look at him, y'all.
Look at that.
The Lord of New York. You know what I'm saying? That's Robert Moses. So the book is about this era before anybody was rapping or anything. And this is really what started hip hop. So that's my point when we were talking earlier about I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about. I brought up Thomas Sowell, who will kind of attribute some of the culture to the plight of African Americans in America, and also he was making the point that where people get made fun of for being smart, in
definitely.
The community. So those are a couple of things that he was sort of attributing to why Black people I don't even feel right saying it, but stop progressing.
Well, I said it. I said.
I know, but like I'm just saying what he said.
I said it for
I'm
you,
just
but
saying
I know
what
you
Thomas Sowell is saying. That's not how I feel or anything. It's just what I've read because I'm really interested. So,
but it weighs in what I'm with you. I can't say that I agree with everything he's saying.
Right. Exactly.
But you can't leave anyone out of their own plight. I mean, their own demise. Like if they're a baby or if they're helpless, then yeah, but we're not babies and we're not helpless. We're an old ass race of motherfuckers that know how to do mad shit. So like it's like we have to reclaim that regardless to what people allow us to do. But that's easy to say when hip hop is founded off the fact that white people didn't want us here. I mean, and it's just that simple. That he built the highway through the Bronx. They started implementing all of these actual governmental, historic, Wikipedia-ass look-upable policies, benign neglect, planned shrinkage, municipal disinvestment. These are literal things that Nixon and Patrick Moynihan and them decided that they were going to start implementing, not just in New York, but New York was the ground zero for a lot of, for the experiment that would be the projects and everything like that, where it's like, let's build these high rises where literally each building houses 3,000, 4,000 people, living on top of one another, in a concrete area, that looks like a fallout shelter, for some of the stuff some of the projects that they build or whatever.
Mhm.
And let's stop picking up the trash. Let's stop putting out fires. Let's stop policing this area. Let's do everything we can to destroy the area so these people will move away, and then we're going to buy it back. They were able to do that, but hip hop squoze a fart out.
Mhm.
And that's the part that is so cool about the story. Like, no one saw that. No one saw people being like, well, you know what? I'm in a gang. It's real out here. I live in rubble. This trash ain't gonna pick up itself. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll pick up the trash. We're gonna hijack this like church and give out free tuberculosis like shots.
Yeah.
And whatever. They did all kinds of stuff. And this was before anybody spat any rhyme. This is before anybody did any dancing. The dancing came after the gang truces happened, literally because of the gang truces. If it wasn't for the fact that the police and the gangs were killing each other, Black Benji wouldn't have died, and then Yellow Benji and all of them wouldn't have been like, yo, let's call this gang truce. And that was in 1971. And the gang truce made it just ease tensions just enough for the different gangs to start going into each other's neighborhoods a little bit more without having to feel like they were going to be stabbed. And one thing leads to another. You start dating so-and-so's cousin. But meanwhile, y'all are musicians. You have a party, and hip hop comes out of it. And a lot of the posturing of b-boying comes from gang posturing. You know what I mean? If you look back on here, he has I made him this jacket.
Oh.
It's called a cut sleeve jacket. That's when you take a jean jacket and you cut the sleeves off, and then you paint it or you put some kind of decorative stuff on the back. So it's a part of hip hop, but it's a part of hip hop because of gangs. That comes from gang culture, and hip hop got it from the Hells Angels and stuff like that. Oh, wow. But they the cut sleeves. So when you see b-boys dancing and they might be do like that, you might see them doing like this and doing like that, and they'll turn and do like that. That's from that time when they would come to the dances for real, and they were in gangs though, and they like, yo, like check out my colors, check out my whatever. But the fact that they were even able to do that with each other in the same room is a side effect of the fact that these people were like, yo, we tired of the cops killing us. Literally, the Black Panthers came in and told the Ghetto Brothers, told Black Spades, told them, hey, man, your enemy is the police. If you really look, that's the ones that's doing all this stuff to you. It's the government, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So, I don't know. It's a lot to it. And we can't leave out the dude that's making sure that he holds us accountable. We need that. We need to be held accountable, because we complain a lot, and there's a lot of things that we could be doing. No one's stopping us now from doing a lot of stuff that we do. You know what I mean? I can't say no one's stopping us. That's not true. There's still Black political targets and things like that, that people who are being targeted. But I don't know. So ask me something. I don't know. Like I felt a sadness like come over the. You know what I mean?
No, well, I don't think it's sad, because like addressing these issues, I think, is the first step, because it's like there's a problem with holding back sort of information and not talking about certain things and not being allowed to talk about it.
True.
I'm half Mexican. The chat makes fun of me for always saying I'm half Mexican.
You half Mexican?
I'm half Mexican.
Okay.
But
so is that why when we raided, it was like taco? It became Taco Monday, or like when people got raided or whatever? Or is that just a coincidence? Like, well, I love tacos.
Well, I love tacos too, but I mean, no, that is a coincidence. Actually, I never actually brought those two ideas together. But
yeah, tacos are fun, so that's why I asked.
That song is amazing. A fun
person would like tacos too.
Well, I'm also a fan of Perry Grip, who is just like all kids love Perry Grip, and they love breakfast burrito. It's good times. It's
yeah. That's one of my nicknames is Mima Mexico.
Mima Mexico. That's tight.
That's one of my nicknames, yeah. Because like Mexican dudes love me.
Oh, that's
when I go places and the person is Mexican.
Yeah,
they're my friend. Like if it's a man, they're like, hey, you know what I mean? Like they really like me a lot.
Yeah,
they really like me a whole lot. Like they work over here at the Grand International Mart, and like I don't know If I don't know what I remind them of, but they love it.
For whatever reason, black girls like me. I don't
Black
know
girls
why.
like you?
Black girls like me. I'm into it though, because I like black girls. Hey, it works. It works for me.
I can tell you like brownies, man. I was like,
You can tell you're like, oh my god,
brownie.
that is not what I said.
You like brownies?
Well,
Some say tacos. Somebody say tacos too. Tessa, like what?
I do like melanin. I will not deny.
You like
that.
melanin?
I love me some melanin.
I ain't mad at you. I like it too.
I
like black guys too. I like black people too.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like black people. I like Mexicans and Asians. I like them all. White people.
So who do people say you look like though? Because the whole time I've been looking, I'm gonna see if people say what I think. Do people say you look like anybody?
You know what, Reina? Do you remember who they said I looked like?
Let me see if
They were saying something. Acute. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name terrible. Feedback is gonna happen after the interview.
We're getting there, boo boo.
Which is coming to an end here shortly.
Yeah,
but
we had a good.
Oh yeah, this is
we aired out all the dirty laundry out here.
It's like no one's gonna
like songs. We did dances.
It's happening. Someone say tacos. Tacos are great. My mother had cravings for them while she was pregnant with me. I make everyone around me love tacos, I guess.
Tacos.
Robbie, yo, there's nothing wrong with tacos. There's nothing wrong with tacos. Well, we have now I don't remember. It was someone cute though. I don't know.
Well, you look like Keanu Reeves to me.
Oh, I'll take it. Hold on.
But cuter. I'll give you that. I like he's like I don't. Is he cute?
I think so. I think he's a good looking man.
Yeah.
He's a good looking man.
It's hard for me because he's a meme for me too. Like he's hilarious to me. Like when I think about him, he's Bill and Ted. Like you know what I'm saying? And he's to me he's the same dude in every movie, but he gets away with it. Like it's all good. When he was Neo, he was so like
he's made a career out of it.
Yeah, he was such a surfer as Neo to me. Like I was like, look at him.
I don't know why he's gone with this weird like crappy beard that he can't really grow. Like I don't know what's happened there, Keanu. I don't know why.
Yeah, you look just like him. Wow,
this patchy beard. Look at a little kid.
He looks like a vampire too. I didn't realize how he's widow's peaky a little.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he looks like 3 different people.
He does. Look at this. Keanu, look at
I'm scared of the third one. Like he looks like he's gonna kill us all.
He's looking right through your soul right now.
Yeah. John Wick. Like John Wick is badass though. Like watching him train for John Wick
that's tight.
Probably better than the movie. Like I was like, all right.
That was really cool. I saw that little place outside Los Angeles. You can go and shoot like automatic weapons at moving targets and stuff.
Yeah.
Tight.
If there's a zombie like shit that
it was called
the zombie
Keanu.
Epidemic. Yeah, where are you?
Keanu, come.
Where are you, Bill? Ted? Which one is he? Bill? Ted?
I think he's Bill.
Yeah.
Man, that's been too long since I see that.
William.
William, yes.
William and Theodore.
We have a question from the chat here. Mighty, thank you so much for gift subbing Tweetessa. Excuse me. How do you say it?
No, Tweet Tessa is right.
Tweetessa.
I'm enjoying Tweetsa.
Tweetsa. Let me get a slice of Tweetsa.
Hey.
Hey, watch out now. Hey, my wife is watching. Hey. Thank you so much for that gift sub and welcome Tweet. Oh my God, what happened? Get out of there. Tweet Tessa. This is for you.
You can't have a slice though. Like
Tweet
will let me get a slice.
Only I can have slices.
Only I can have a slice of Tweetsa.
Patty Bear, don't talk about Keanu now. We have the same birthday this Thursday. Hey.
What? I didn't know. See, the birthdays are just right on top. Look at that. Hey, well, happy birthday in advance, but we got to celebrate your birthday hard, Patty Bear. But Floyd Vader goes live on Thursday, so you should be able to. Whoa, thank you.
Oh wait, so who goes live?
Ooh, watch it. Who you talking to, Tweet? No, I was talking about Floyd Vader. So I'm just talking. Patty Bear, we can celebrate your birthday on. I'll make sure. Let's make sure Floyd Vader knows so he can when he DJs.
That's what she said.
Keanu's kind of cute though. No more. He's kind of weird.
No, Keanu is cute.
He's cute.
Keanu is cute.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. No, I always thought it. It's just it took me. He's one of those people. It took a second for me to realize it because he's such a doofus to me.
I'm a
Yeah, he's so like, I don't know.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just
He's we got to stop the robots.
yeah, he's like, yeah, he's like, there is no spoon.
And there is no spoon.
Zion, save Zion. I'm just like, all right, bro. But
Yeah,
I'm not mad at him.
yeah.
Do talk your shit, Keanu. But yeah, you look just like him actually.
Well,
But
thank you.
Mexican.
I'll take it.
Ew.
Watch out. Yeah, I got just enough melanin to where I turn brown and I don't turn pink, so that's nice.
Ah, same here. Because black people, there's black people that turn pink too,
Hey,
and
it
burn,
happens. It
turn red in the
happens.
sun.
It
Yeah, I got
happens.
just enough melanin. I'm yellow. I'm not high yellow.
Hmm.
That's what black people call high yellow. Like Tisha Campbell, like Pam, not Pam, Gina. Gina's high yellow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna give you all the definition. That's high. That's high yellow.
Never
You know
heard
what I mean?
these phrases. I'm
Really?
yes.
Lisa Bonet probably considered high yellow. Reina Mystique, she high yellow.
She's high yellow. Oh, I
High
like
yellow.
that.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm about to.
You
not-
like it?
I,
Hey, look at you. He's like, describe the different flavors of black women. He said, you start like doing like that.
Yep.
He's
I
like,
don't.
"Pussy."
That I learned new terminology today, folks. I have
Hey.
enjoyed this. Really, this is awesome. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. No worries. Yeah, and thank you so much, Mike, for those 2 gift subs. We really appreciate you. And Grim, welcome. Oh Lord, thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, this
Grim.
is fun.
Yeah.
This is fun.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Gosh darn, we started talking about high yellow.
Being Mexican and how
Mexican.
and how Mexicans love us.
I don't know. I remember, like, I think we were talking about holding people to standards and having people do things. I don't know. It don't matter anymore. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. We have a question from the guest or from the chat.
A question and answer time. Let's get it.
Let's get it. And if anybody has any questions for the guest, you can use your fresh bars in the channel points are fresh bars. It only costs 1 channel point, so it's a very affordable question. And please enjoy
Fresh
them.
bars.
Yeah.
I've been trying to think of what else to call I just realized I could name my channel point something else, but I couldn't think of anything. And I was like, these are corny. Like the stuff I was coming up with, I just felt corny. But then I was like, I probably just need to go with full corn. And you know what I mean? Like, just go corny.
Just go corny with it. Well, I mean, there's nothing more corny than fresh bars.
Fresh bars.
No one says fresh. When's the last time you heard someone say fresh? Like that's fresh.
We say it all the time.
Okay,
We say
well,
it because we're old. See, look, what you mean when the last time you heard? No, you're right. We say fresh and what's up, B, and all that.
Every like in between each thing, this robot voice is saying fresh.
Let's go.
So it's ridiculous.
Rad bars is really awesome.
Rad bars.
Rad bars.
Rad bars are dope. Your favorite today. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you, and thank you for that 77% fresh. You're fresh enough today. You're fresh enough today.
Hey.
All right. So this is coming from, and I'm sorry I'm butchering your name, Akyut. I'm sorry, my bad. How have you personally been able to breach barriers and approach these topics, especially as a student? Everyone seems to be on such a hair trigger now that even having these conversations is a risk, at least from my perspective. So, how have you personally been able to breach barriers and approach these topics?
Hey, and I feel for you because this will require a certain kind of personality. I've always had the way I am. I just say it, you know. I just say dick. I just say pussy. You feel what I mean?
Yeah.
I just say motherfucker. I say nigga. I just say it. So people want me to say it. You know what I mean? Like I'm encouraged to say it. So meeting new people is hard for me because sometimes they're not used to me yet. Yeah. So it takes a second. Like I remember I was in some of the people that are in this chat, they know me from Club Mesh. So I follow Dow Jess and Miss Chestnut and all them. So they have kind of a crazy chat and it's like right up my alley, like a lot of art kids and weirdos and stuff, all races, and everybody's just kind of potty mouthed and I fit right in.
Yeah.
So that's what he said. So when I first got over there, one of the dudes like in there spoke to me. one of the fellow mesh heads, and I was like, "Hey, cutie,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, your husband," and whatever, and I was like, it made me feel like, for anyone who knows me and my husband, like, I'm not gonna cheat on him. Like, if I could sit in his lap right now and do this interview, like, if I could be in his lap for this interview, I would be in it. Like, that's how I am about him. You know what I mean? She lives in my lap, Andre 3000, right? So, but he didn't know me yet. He didn't know my humor. So that's my point. So other than breaking the ice, that's how I do it. And it might not be, see, they're like, you say it. They know how I am. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's how I'm able to just out of nowhere, like you come to see me play house music and we're having a whole conversation about race. Yeah. And it's not off-putting at all. Most people, they're actually there for it. They want to know how I feel. But that's a skill. That's not, having these conversations is one of those things that you just have to have the conversations. And then you have to not be worried about, if you're coming from a genuine place, you have to own that, because not everyone's going to understand where you're coming from. There's a lot of viewpoints that I have that I know plenty of Black people don't agree with. And there's a lot of viewpoints that I have and I have an interesting stream. So I'm the perfect person to ask this question, because in my stream, I have conscious Blacks, unconscious Blacks, nerdy, progressive whites from like the South, like, you know what I mean? Like, trans people. I have lesbians. I have, I name the motherfucker. The motherfucker is in my chat, you know? And we're all in one place, like getting along. And but it's not because it's not because I'm neutral, it's not because I'm not neutral. I have an opinion. Yeah. I have a solid opinion, but my opinion it's not offensive because it's real. I mean, and if you like realness, you're just not going to be offended. You're just not going to agree, or you're going to agree. Yeah. And the way I feel might not be the same way tomorrow. That's another thing. I try not to worship my own opinion either. Right. That's one way to have the conversation. Don't take yourself so serious. For sure. Everybody is too deep. Everyone's too fucking deep. Like, and then we grew up watching fucking Beavis and Butthead, fam. Like, lighten up, lighten up. You watch Family Guy and you laugh at all the racist ass shit. Yeah. That they do. And some of the stuff that they play with on that show is it's borderline, It's pretty, it's pretty sus. Yeah. But they're not canceled. And no one's going to cancel Seth MacFarlane either. No. And I'm not saying that he's never caught any flack. God knows I know that he's caught flack. Prom night dumps the baby, but at the same time, but he gets away with it because he doesn't apologize. One reason why Family Guy got canceled at first is because it was too safe. It was too cute. It was too much like The Simpsons, but not raw enough. If you're gonna almost meme The Simpsons like that, we're here for it. But you have to go hard. And they would play with the little jokes. But like Lois, she talked more like Peter, yeah. But now she's like Peter. Stowaway. Why do you? They went on and just made it just. Go hard. Yeah. She's Edith Bunker. You know what I mean? Yeah. Make her fucking Edith Bunker for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, because that's how that show was able to do so well. All in the Family. That's what it was called, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. He was racist as fuck.
He was.
And it was during a time when people needed to see some real shit like that. Yeah. And in a world where your granddad's racist and you like Black women. What's that dynamic? And that show explored that. They had a interracial couple. They had a kind of frilly guys on there, whatever. And you get to watch Archie Bunker versus the New World, and that's smart. I play on that. I play on that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I play on the fact that I know that you guys want to talk about this shit. When people are walking around having to bite their tongue because you can't say what you want to say, that creates this hole for you to be pause. That creates this hole, and for you to be able to go in there deep. No, but it does. I mean, it makes it so that you can talk about this shit, because that's how all niches are created. Everything's about meat. So then here comes vegans. Like, what about those of you who don't want to fucking eat blood and ribs? And you don't want to eat like the ribs of an animal. Like, here's the market for that. For all of you who've been waiting, it's like, okay, I don't like milk, or I want to eat cereal, but the milk blows my ass out. Can you come with a thing that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I play on that. Like, it's literally, that's a marketing strategy. Like, I use the fact that you guys like me and you think the way I say shit is funny, on some Dave Chappelle, as my way to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel for us comedians, because they're inching away at that. Like, our ability to tell jokes is being met with the red scare thing.
Exactly.
So that's my answer. How do you have these conversations? I don't know if he was asking me or you, or it's both, but how do you, Keanu? How do you deal with it?
Well, I approach the subject with empathy and understanding. Well, I come from it from a place of, I honestly love people, like as a whole, and like I honestly have no hatred towards anybody for how they look or what color skin or who they decide to be or not to be or who to bang. Like, I don't care. Like,
I don't care either. Yeah.
I love you, and if you find beauty and peace and solace and you're not hurting anybody in the process, I think you should do that. And I genuinely feel that way. And so I think coming from a genuine place, I think is the place to be. I mean, not to say that I haven't had my ass handed to me because I got a little too curious and a little too mouthy and a little too comfortable. Right. There was a couple weeks ago that I had her name is LG, her name is LG, and she's a rapper, and she, we started talking about BLM, and I misspoke in her eyes, and shit got really real. And you know what? I learned a lot from that experience. It really fucked with me really badly for weeks. I was fucked up from that conversation, and it really taught me some real shit. And if it wasn't for that conversation, maybe I would have just kept on going on saying shit. And maybe I would, the next person who came on and said something, and maybe that would have offended them to a point where they would have been like, you know what, fuck you, fuck this. I mean, I have to give it up to LG for sticking with it and for being it. And I it's not that what I said was like this horribly racist thing. It was just that
I don't think so. But
what I said was something that she had disagreed with fervently. So it was one of those things where it's like, I don't think either of us was wrong, and we mostly agreed, but like there was just the way it all came out and the way that it came to be just was not sitting right with her, and she let me know, and that's fine.
Right.
And I tell the chat the same thing. If you think I'm just blowing hot air and I'm just talking shit and I'm just saying ridiculous things, call me on it, because I refuse to live in an echo chamber where my own fucking farts smell like roses. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not doing that. And that's why I will continue to bring on people who I don't agree with. That's why I will continue to bring on people who fucking voted for Trump, or like, I'm going to talk to these people because I need to know, and I want to know, like, what is the most rational way forward through whatever the fuck this shit show is that we're playing out. It's like, what is the most rational and way that we can go through this with compassion and empathy, where not everyone's gonna feel like they're getting fucked somehow, but also uplifted. It's like, but like, we can't sit here and accept made up stats, and we can't sit here and accept made up playland things that we're expected to just believe and buy because you said it, because it's going to offend you if you don't say it like that. We can't, and not to say I'm not saying, like, if someone wants to go by they, I'm not against that at all. I'm not talking about anything in particular, but there is certain aspects to this culture that we're in, where we have to suspend beliefs and look away from data and science in order to make a few people feel okay with themselves.
And no one wants to talk about it.
And no one wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think that is dangerous in the fact that we, there are people going around who don't feel the same way, who are sort of swallowing their tongue, and this only creates this only leads people when you shut down the conversation, you push people into extreme ideas. And because they don't feel heard, they don't feel like their voice is heard or matters. They take those thoughts, and it turns into resentment, and it turns into anger and fear and hate. And
That's
then
right.
before you know it, you have a fucking group of dudes in the woods plotting to go fucking kidnap the governor of Michigan. And
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just
you gotta dupe a group of dudes at fucking Rite Aid getting like tiki torch.
Exactly.
Right.
It's because we're not allowed to have conversations like this.
That's
we
right.
had Donald Trump as a president because we're not allowed to have these fucking conversations.
That's right.
These people who felt like, oh, well, I'm a deplorable, I'm fucking a flyover state. Well, fuck you, watch this. Let's burn it down with this fucking Cheeto with butthole lips, like, let's fucking do it,
But you're saying it, bro. Like that's literally how it happens. Like the big part is people feeling like they don't have a voice, or feeling like that no one's going to agree, or not just that no one's going to agree, that they will literally be canceled, or whatever it is. I mean, and it's interesting because even people who are a part of those groups who we think are pushing certain things, a lot of them don't necessarily agree either. They don't. They all gays aren't with every letter. I've heard many gay people say, I don't really know about all the letters, but that's not for me to say. You feel what I mean?
Yes.
But I shouldn't be roasted for having an opinion either. Especially if my opinion is not coming from a place of hurt where I'm trying to hurt anybody. I don't have much in what I've learned when me and my husband talk about this a lot. When we were growing up, we used to say it's a Black thing you wouldn't understand. That's something that it was a whole slogan and a motto. I could see how people would be maybe a little off put by that term, but I get it. And the reason why I say that is this: I want the other groups I want them to adopt that philosophy. Don't care as you have to care. At some place at some juncture in society, we all meet up. We all meet up at the Walmart. We all meet up at the thing. We're not just all living separate, right? Yeah. Back to this Walmart, right? We all meet up at this shitty fucking like Walmart or whatever. And we have to have some kind of way that we can get along. Okay, cool. I don't want you to need me to understand. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want you to sweat how I feel. Like, I guess it's just the same way with anything. Like, I don't want racist white people to not be racist. Dude, have a ball. Do it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Wave your flag, fam. Like, you know what I mean? You don't like niggas. Like, go for it. Like, word up. You know what I mean? I just need you to respect my fucking, like, just don't come over here with, you know what I mean? Just leave me alone. Like, Just leave me alone. And that's fine. That's good enough for me. I don't want to have a conversation with the alt-right dude until he agrees that civilization started in Africa. Like, you know what I mean? I don't need the alt-right guy. What's that dude? That one white guy?
Richard. Is it Richard?
He does have Dick. Like,
it is some kind of dick, right? Oh, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Dicky, you know what I mean?
Dickhole, yeah.
Dicky McDickhole, yeah.
Richard Spencer?
Richard Dixon Rick, yeah. All right, so yeah, Richard Spencer, Dixon. So
Dick Spencer here.
Dick Spencer. I don't need Dick Spencer to agree. I don't need him. For one, this is the world. Speaking of a spectrum, spectrum is not just about sexuality. It's about everything. Everything is on the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Everything is on the spectrum. So you got to have some white supremacy, baby. You got to have some Dickie Spence. I don't need Dickie Spence to agree with me.
Yeah.
I need him to respect my right to disagree and vice versa. And that's it. And not just about agree to disagree. I need him to also respect my right to live my truth. And that's it. So if somebody's telling me, look, I'm a whole man, I got a big old wang, but guess what, man? I don't like this wang. I don't like the way it feels. It doesn't, how am I to tell you, right, how that feels?
Right.
You wouldn't be saying it if you didn't feel that way. Who would make that shit up?
Right.
Who would want to be like that and be treated like this in society if they didn't genuinely feel that way or whatever, right? But I also need you to not need me to understand it all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you could be happier a lot quicker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If you're not
Because-
worried about what everybody else is fucking worried about, then you're just worried about yourself. Just do you.
Do you? You want to, grab your nuts and put them in a thing and make a thing. Do whatever you want to do with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These nuts, they're your nuts.
Walnuts.
Yeah.
Put 'em
You know
on
what I
the
mean?
wall,
But don't get mad when someone doesn't understand that shit. And that's all I'm ever saying. So that's as Black people, that's old news to us. We're used to no one giving a fuck how we fucking feel.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Dave Chappelle said that shit. He was just like, he's like, I don't have a problem so much with the movement transgender. He said, my problem is the fact that as soon as a white man decided that he wanted to be transgender, everyone's so open-minded and accepting. And he was just like, it reeks of privilege and white supremacy. Yeah. Even that movement still has that. It still has white supremacy in it. You know what I mean? There's all these Black and brown people who've been felt like that about themselves, and they were just called freaks.
Freaks,
so,
and a lot in the position of not to be able to afford that kind of transition.
That's right.
And that's when you look at the situation, it's like it's mostly upper middle class white men who are doing this, and Latinos, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
And Latinos.
That is true. I've noticed that too.
But it's but I mean, that's just where we're at, and I'm nothing against that. If you want to cut your dick off, you're a real one, son. You're a real one. Like that's a real thing. If you hate your dick so much, you got to cut it off. Then you really want that dick gone, and that's cool.
Yeah, you don't identify with it.
Get that dick out of here. Get that dick in the trash.
It's assholey of me to try to tell you how you feel about your own penis or how you feel about your own, sexuality. So I get it. You know what I mean? And then I'm a voice actor, so I have to do the bulk of my work actually is I do a lot of training videos, and lately not training videos but training scripts for training videos. I'm in the middle of one right now, big paying job too. It's like a 3-part job. The first one was manager, then I did bully, now I'm doing upstander. So basically they were talking but they're about sexual misconduct in the workplace, and it really made me kind of open my eyes to a lot of things, and I realized that there's not a big place for me in the world either. Like out here in the 9-to-5 world, I don't fit. I'm very offensive. I'm a very offensive person.
You're gonna make.
I'm flirty.
You're gonna make Mike in accounting very uncomfortable.
Tell me, kisses, mind your own business. Isn't it easy? Isn't it easy?
It's very easy.
I'm like, you got your family, you got your wife, your husband, doing whatever you want to do. Enjoy yourself. Like, why do you care what, whatever? And there is a place where, that's why I said the thing about the Walmart though, because there's a place where it's not just my business.
Right.
You know what I mean? When anything becomes a movement, it becomes other people's business. If you want everyone to change the bathrooms, that affects straight people, that affects bi people, that affects Christians and alt-right. Everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody.
So they're going to have an opinion, and they're entitled to it because it affects them. Yeah. But even then, that we need that tough skin. For those of us who are marginalized and we're trying to make our way, you got to have a little skin on you. And I'm preaching to the choir about that kind of stuff because you know what I mean? If you're transgender, you probably have a tough skin by now.
Yeah. And if not, then you're having a hard time. If you don't have a thick skin, you're having a really, really hard time. And my heart goes out to you because, I mean, no one should have to feel like that. But,
for just existing.
Yeah, no one should feel like that, and not everyone does have thick skin. So it's really sad that the death rates within, especially young trans people, the suicide rate is just so high. It's just so sad that they can't. They still don't feel like they have a place. I want to read what the Bard says here because I do feel that the big problem is when people in charge of stuff are racist or anyist. It's one thing to have your extreme beliefs and live out in the boonies alone, but if you're a superintendent and sneak that racist content into school is a big problem. And totally. Like we were saying with what the fuck is that turd's name? The guy, the Brooklyn guy who put the racist highway in.
Robert Moses.
Which was a legitimate racist person who had the money and power to enact like real racist shit.
Right.
So, I can only imagine that mentality, that mindset still exists. I don't think it might be evening out a little, but I mean, it's just that still exists. And so there are people out there who are in places of power that do have horrible ideas that, you know, that no one accepts, you know, no rational person accepts anymore. And they're just up
Right.
there making decisions based on that.
And the PC makes it worse because that person, it might be good at being PC, and they really are good at hiding how they felt. At least with Robert Moses, he was an open fucking douche, and everyone knew it. And no one denied it. Yeah, and if you seem to revel in it, you know.
If you have somebody whose scruples are in the toilet, in the gutter, who are just like, I see an easy way to play the system. All I have to do is act like I'm the most woke in the office, and I can get Jerry's job next week. Fuck Jerry. I'm better than Jerry. Jerry's a fucking misogynist. You know what he said to me? He said he wanted to touch Sarah's boobs. You fucking misogynist piece of shit. Now fucking asshole who just is smart enough to know that all you have to do is play the game and just be like, well, I hate racists and I'm anti-racist. Right. I'm the most anti-racist, anti-misogynist in this office. Give me that raise. Give me that promotion.
You got it. You're hired. When can you start?
Right.
You know, and see, that's the reason why I said I don't know if I could be in the work. I think people would let me be me because I'm a girl. That's how I get away with being how I am.
Yeah.
Like for instance, again, I'm reading this thing and I'm like, this is so ironic that you guys would hire me of all people, like, to read this thing. And it's just talking about like, not like, you know, you're in the office and not like all kinds of stuff, you know. I mean, and I'm not a douche, so I know this stuff too. It's not like I would be at the office like offending people. I wouldn't. Like, people would like me if I worked the 9 to 5. Most people, but the things that used to be okay for me to say when I was working, because it's been a while since I've had to work anywhere. The things that used to be okay, they're just not, and I have to be ready for that. Because like it says in the training thing, even if the person is the same like gender as you, the same race as you, you know, and you make a joke like, oh, like if I'd be like, you know, well, you know, all black people can't dance, even though we can, but you know, yeah, blah, blah, blah. If I was to say something like that, like at the job, I could end up in HR fucking saying some shit like that. And then the training shit was like, yo, even if the person is black like you can't make like no black people jokes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And I'm like, they're right. Like, they're right. You know, we're at the job and everybody doesn't want to hear, you know, the things, but it's scary though, because it's because of the Bill Cosby situation and the different things where it's kind of like, because I heard my husband's, his mother she's old, she's 80, you know, and she was like, she said, oh, we used to take, like how people pop mollies and shit. She's like, Spanish fly, you know what I mean? Like,
we used to get down.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I've heard a lot of older people say that. They're like, man, that's not, he won't do, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what that is. They're making that, they're using the culture of those times and bringing them forward to now. And I'm not taking up for him. I don't know what happened. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But one reason why people have a hard time accepting it is because of this very thing that we're talking about, where it's like, how much of this is just everyone being PC as fuck? You know what I'm saying? Louis C.K., to me, one of the best comedians of the last 30 years. An amazing comedian, like surprisingly good, you know? Talked like we're talking now, talked a lot about race, talked a lot about things that people were scared to say. Refreshing to see a white man actually telling those kind of jokes. Again, he got canceled because he liked to jerk off in front of the ladies. And
I mean, I'm just not, look, I know that compared to some of these guys that's not as bad, but like no woman should like have to like making a phone call at work and then have some dude going,
I'm with you. But should he not have no comedy career now?
No, not at all.
Like, but he never existed?
No, I don't agree with that. It's just, he did do something that I just, when people are downplaying it, I think that's wrong, because like, no matter what, that like, if you're calling your boss and he's jerking off on the phone, fucking, I don't care who you are.
No,
like,
it's whack.
There has to be some kind of accountability to that, but not losing fucking $30 million in one day. You know what I mean? Kind of accountability.
And then I just don't.
But maybe, I don't know.
I guess because and I shouldn't do this because it didn't happen to me. And at the same time, I don't know Louis C.K. But I guess from seeing his comedy, I think the people that that downplay it is because I guess they don't feel like he's a malicious, like I think he has a problem.
Right.
I think he has a problem. But did that lady die after she heard the man jerk off? I mean, it's just okay. He nutted on you. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like the actual literal damage that was done. Again, toughen. I'm not saying just let him. All that. I'm a woman, so I know the feelings of some of these things. You know what I mean? Like what it feels like to be. Again, I just go into 7-Eleven and a man might look at you and be like, "Smile," and you're like, "Smile."
Fuck
you. Yeah.
There's my smile.
Yeah, I'll say it, fuck you, motherfucker.
Fuck you,
know what I mean?
Stupid. Yeah.
But am I gonna go and this person? I don't know, man. I just think.
No, I feel you, and again, I'm still a fan of Louis C.K. I love Louis C.K. His last special wasn't that funny, but like I bought it. I fucking bought it for the fucking $8 or $5, and I've shared it with a lot of friends. I still support him, and even though it's not that bad and all of that, it's not. I think that especially when it comes to women. Is like women in the workplace and women at the gym. I just like Reina was just on a podcast with this cat named Wake the Beast, I love him, but he can be a little too intense for me sometimes. But he's a streamer here, and he said that, and I was like, that makes so much sense. It's like workplace and the gym. Let's just call those two places off limits for creepy dude action. All right, you save it for the bar, save it for the fucking grocery store, save it for Victoria's Secrets, whatever. Just fucking just let when they're at work and when they're at the gym. Let's just call it a safe.
Just leave them alone.
Just let them go.
I'm a woman, and it is creepy. It's creepy.
Super creepy.
But I come from the 80s. Let's get back to these 80s.
These 80s.
Where there's a party, like the way we were raised, like, okay, if I went out here, right, and a man didn't try to talk to me, it would make me be like, damn, I don't got it. Like, nobody looking at my ass, and I'm like, I want you to look.
This ass is juicy. This ass is juicy.
Like, oh, look at that ass, girl. And you kind of like, yeah. So that's where I understand how to take that kind of energy and not make you like a rapist or a creep because you saw my ass and you liked it. You're a man. You got a penis. You want to put it there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's natural. I mean, I don't know, but do you have to like become a wolf and blah, blah, blah? Right. But at the same time, I guess intention means a lot for me. If I genuinely didn't feel. And I'm very empathic, so like I can feel it. Yeah. If I genuinely just didn't feel like you meant to hurt me, especially if it really was a compliment, I don't want to roast you because you were trying to compliment me. Back to being at this imaginary workplace, like at this Walmart that we work at. If you're a woman, me being how I am, like if you're a woman and you come in there and your titties like all pushed up in the thing, like I'm looking and I might say something because I'm crazy. You know what I mean? I don't want to end up in HR for that. Yeah. No, and especially since I'm a woman and I know you push them titties up so that motherfuckers would look at those titties. I can say it. You can't say it, but I can say that. Women, come on, man. You're why are you mad that he sees the titties? He sees them. I remember Patrice O'Neal, RIP. Yeah, RIP. Very funny comedian. Genius. He said. And he's one of these men. He said we should have a day, like a holiday, where it's okay to like sexually harass the women or whatever at the workplace. And he said because when y'all come in there with your he's like, I love women, and he said it's like he said letting men work with women, or like at least men like him, is like letting bear work with salmon. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was done. But. He was like, I'm not saying that it should be okay to like harass you, but yeah,
but your titties are out, lady.
Your titties are up. They're here, and they're looking good, boo. And I want to compliment you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not that the men want. I know this from being from the 80s. There's a banter. There's a social, almost like a ritual that we used to go through. With men, you walk down the street and they're like, when you walk by, they're all gonna, look and you like it and they like it and that's it. Nothing has to happen. No numbers have to be exchanged. You never have to see me again. You don't have to go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Olivia, Stabler, you know what I mean? Get your Law and Order asses down here.
There's a sex crime happening.
Ice-T,
Ice-T, we need you
late.
stat.
stat. We need you, stat. You stupid. You know what I mean? You don't have to call the people because the construction worker looked at your ass and titties that you have out to be seen.
Yeah.
Just enjoy that feeling, that sexual energy that is exchanged. So I think that's another reason why I'm kind of flirtier even than normal. Like, because I'm trying to like hold that. I'm trying to keep the art of that in place, I guess. You can make a person feel really good by flirting with them, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It didn't hurt your feelings that I told you looked like cute Keanu Reeves.
No.
It made you feel good.
I'm
You know,
flattered. I was like, shit.
yeah. Like if somebody's like, yo, like,
okay, I'll take it.
you know what I mean? I'll take it. Like this person's hot or this person's whatever. And you're not like gonna call HR because I said it. Like
Could call it head of Twitch HR. BlakGurlGamr called me Keanu. I don't like it.
I had a hate guest. Like it was a hate
It was
crime.
a hate crime happening here, Twitch.
Yeah, yo. What are you gonna do about it? Like we're gonna boycott you.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, and I still have to lean on the side of, you know, catcalling and all that shit. Like some people don't like it.
You should.
Some people don't like it. Some people love it. Some, you know, but the thing is, when you're doing it, you don't know where they sit on that spectrum. So,
And that's why you shouldn't.
the
And
best
that's what-
thing to do is just to keep
To
that
be
thought
the
in your
fuck quiet.
brain.
That's right.
Put it in the spank bank and take it out in the sink at home while your
And
family
the
prepares
spank
dinner.
bank.
Okay, so just take it out in the sink when you get
While
home.
your family prepares dinner. So
Yeah.
very specific.
In the bathroom, not in the kitchen, of course. In the bathroom.
In the
shame
upstairs bathroom to the right. Yeah. With the towels, the pink towels. No, and you know what? That's also maybe kind of being the devil's advocate.
Oh, well.
Totally. The right thing to say is what you just said.
Well,
because
there is
you
the-
don't
But
because you don't
I'm not just saying it because I think it's the right thing to say. I'm saying
No,
it because,
I'm saying
like,
it because
I really
it's the
believe.
right thing to say.
I
No, I'm
believe
not, I
it.
don't mean it that way. Like I don't mean it like the PC thing to say. I mean the right thing to say.
Oh.
Like I mean I actually meant the right thing to say.
Okay.
Like morally and everything. No, I mean, and you're right. And I want to enjoy these laws. I want to enjoy the fact that you can't just say whatever to me out of your mouth
Yeah.
in the workplace.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I'm just being a person and just removing all the PC out and just saying that as a woman, you cannot tell me when you got on them fucking little ass shorts, lady, with your that you went to the gym,
Right.
this same gym, this gym that we're talking about, with some more sexy shit on, so that when you're working out, you look sexy.
Yeah.
Who are you looking sexy for? I mean, a person can go for myself. And I'm like, I feel you, but come on, boo. I mean, like who even determines, like, how would you even know what sexy is if there was no one to bounce off of? Like, you feel what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that instead of, a lot of us hide behind these PC laws, knowing that really we want to be looked at. We want to be seen. And I just think that there's a lot of good people who get caught up in the middle of all of that. Like who get just because they were just kind of human in that moment. They didn't mean any harm. They're not going to rape you. They didn't want your phone number. They're not being a creep or anything. Your titties are literally up, pushed up. And they look good, baby. You know, they're oily. There's oil, there's dew. There's woman dew on them.
There's fucking glitter that leads to the cleavage.
There's titty glitter, like titter.
Titter.
You know, and so dudes, shut the fuck up. Don't say anything. But I do need some of us to at least admit, I like when men and women look at my shit and they go, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I like the, but in the workplace, just we're here to file, we're here to scan documents.
Yeah, in the workplace and that. But at the bar, like, I mean, even going up at the bar and being like, hey, well, nice tits, like, that's not the way to do it.
I mean, don't lead with that, but
you can definitely be like, you look fantastic. However it is, that was the lamest, most square shit. You could tell I have been out of the game for a long time. You look just absolutely fantastic.
Stunning.
And you look stunning tonight. They're like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm out of here,
Well, that might
weirdo.
work. That might work. You know what I mean? But
It would
and
work
then
if I
then the
did.
music we listen to and the stuff we call our own selves and the things that we
Mhm.
do and say. Yes, bitch. I'll be like, yo, a bitch like me, blah 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 blah. You know, I mean, so I don't know. I just don't want there to be such a double standard for the men. You know,
Yeah.
I am so flirty with girls, like with girls, dudes. I can't flirt with dudes as much because I'm married and I'm a woman, and the dudes will take it more serious.
Right.
If
But,
I do.
oh, he's hey, here's
Yeah,
my
that's why dude was
dick.
like, well, "What about your husband?" And I was like, I said, okay. I was like, "Peace, sweetie." You know, I didn't. I'm like, everyone knows how
Hi,
I am.
human.
Like, just you know what I
Hello,
mean.
fellow human being. Hi.
Look, but don't touch. That's right. But I want you to look.
I saw him live in Somerville, Mass. Before he's jerking off. He can stay away for a bit longer and figure out some reparations. I wear masks still in large part to deter men from asking us out. I run with burlesque dancers and theater people. We have pretty thick skin and messed up. I know that was all being said in different points of the conversation, but like that
Like
all was
that person
amazing.
just hit that like PowerPoint, like boom. In summary.
This was
Yeah.
the summary of our-
But yeah, I mean, really though, I mean, and he's right. Like, and he's apologized. He's tried to atone.
Yeah.
He's had some like local comedy type gigs and stuff.
And he's doing well in Europe.
And they were being protested too. You know, and some people were like, no, he shouldn't be allowed to make money as a comedian. I think that's a bit much.
That's too far. And it's obviously he was going through some mental shit. It was the time of his divorce. Like he was really going through some shit. Not that it gives him an excuse for jerking off in front of people, but
there's a reason why you do something like that.
Right. There is a weird reason that you feel compelled to ask two fellow comedians, which, by the way, those two fellow comedians who agreed to get jerked off in front of later said that that situation kept them from being able to have a career in comedy. Now, that to me is the most bitch shit. That's like the guy who said
like, no, it didn't.
The guy who the guy who's suing Nirvana now because the baby from the cover of Nevermind is suing the estate because he said it was sexually exploiting him without his consent. And 5 years ago, this motherfucker recreates that same picture in the pool and fucking is all happy and proud to be a part of the 25th anniversary. And now that he's like 5 years later, he's a little more broke. He's like,
and that's my point, is there's a lot of people like this out here. And they're ruining good people or people who made a fucking mistake or whatever it is. And
or they just mad at them. They're just petty.
They're just mad at them.
Like, I didn't like that he didn't give me a chance, or I didn't like that whatever it is. That's the other part is like, you know, there are fucking crazy people out there who do have bad intent involved. And you know, like this idea, like, you know, believe every woman. And like I don't want to disagree with that. I don't want to. But I think that, yes, we should take this very seriously and investigate it, and then we come to a decision. But you know, I'm with that. But like, it has to come to some kind of investigation or thing. And what also sucks about it is when you do find out that these men or women didn't actually do anything wrong, it doesn't matter. Their fucking life is ruined anyways. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
You've already been accused.
It doesn't matter.
You've already been accused. And see, that's there's an episode, you might have seen it. There's an episode starring Jon Snow. What's his name? Can't remember his real name. Anyway, the actor that
Kip? Is it Kip?
Kit.
Is it
Kit Walker?
Jon Snow actor. I got Google here.
You got Google, yeah.
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington starred in this. So there's a show on Netflix called Criminal.
Never seen it.
It's really, really, really good. Really good show. Not a lot of episodes per season. It's actually an amazing show, actually, and it just takes place in one room. In the interrogation room.
It's called Criminal?
It's called Criminal.
That's awesome.
It's a UK show.
Okay.
And there's an episode like that where he's accused of raping a girl. And when it's over, you know, and he seems by all intent to be guilty, but he's not. And as you find it, and at the end of the show, which was the whole point of the episode, is just good even without this final piece. But he was like, hold on, yo, He said, when y'all came and arrested me for this shit, y'all came and arrested me for like raping somebody, you know, some fucked up shit. And everyone knows what I was arrested for at the job. Now that I'm not guilty, he's like, that's it. He's like, he actually went the fuck off. Actually, he went off. It's great.
Yeah.
He was like, no, really.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks I'm a fucking like molester now. Now that you put me through all this, what do you guys as police, what do you have in place? What do you guys have in place to help rectify, to help repair a damaged person's reputation?
Right.
At just literally at being accused of something so heinous.
Right.
And they were just quiet. I mean, he went off. Because he kind of, the more you start talking about something, you start getting madder and madder. Like, you know, and Kit's a good actor, so it's a really good, because I never really thought about that either. I'm just like, yeah, like once you've been proven innocent, you know, you're that guy though that got accused of touching the kids or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're the guy that got accused of touching the women. Right. You know, so it's bad. It's bad, and it's a big part of cancel culture as well. Yeah, you know, totally. How people feel about. And I guess the reason why I have some sympathy for it is because it's not like I know people who are like 25. They think that 40 years is a long time, and it's just not. It's just not a long time. Right. There was just 5 minutes ago that I was a child in the 80s sitting in a lunchroom where all the white people sat together and all the black people sat together, and we didn't fucking talk, you know? And so there's some people who can't just snap out of how they were raised like that, you know? Some people can't just snap out of going through all the motions to seem so masculine, you know, to impress society at large, just to be told now that that's toxic, right? You know, right. So I don't want to leave anyone out, you know. I want trans people to have their rights. I want gays and blacks and everybody, anybody that deserves to be happy. I want you to be happy, but I just don't want anyone's happiness to be at the expense of someone else's, like almost like their cancellation. I can't be happy unless you're canceled. Right. There's no middle ground, you know? Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. So, yeah. Any more questions, y'all? Hey?
If anybody has any last minute questions, we could we could wrap this up, and then we could go into feedback and then call it a day. BlakGurlGamr, thank you so much for coming on the show and telling your truths, awesome, and having such an amazing conversation with me. There was just so much I learned, and I hope that you guys learned something. And I mean, I just absolutely loved this. And even though we were like hitting like some really serious topics, it didn't feel heavy. It didn't feel like so fucking heavy. Because sometimes when you come into these conversations, it's just the weight of the world just comes crashing in, and you're just like, oh God, here we are. But this was very light, and it was good. And even though it was like we were talking about some real shit, like,
because I don't know about you, after this, I'm going to be worried that I offended some of you. You know what I mean? Like, I do that. Like how you said that you had offended the girl and, you know, it really bothered you.
It did.
I'm like that too. I don't want anyone, you know, I don't want you guys to, you know what I mean? I don't want you guys to be like, I liked BlakGurlGamr and now I don't, because the thing, you know, I don't want to be looked at, and it's not that I want to lose the fan. It's not about that. Like, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you, right, to tell the truth, but I'm not going to not tell the truth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the truth, or I'm not going to not tell, like you said, my truth, because this is not everyone's truth. Right. But I try to hit at universal. I try to deal with universal truth more. That's one reason why it maybe felt light. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting around talking about just how I feel about some shit. I'm talking about something that we all can see, stuff we all feel. We're human, man. We all want our babies to live and prosper. We all want money. We all want, you know, to be liked and loved and accepted. Yeah. You know, and to be able to feel like there's someone we can be honest with and they not judge us or feel like, I mean, I literally had someone ask me in my chat earlier, like a really sensitive question that most people would be sensitive about. And it wasn't bad, but he was just like, you know, why do some black people call each other coons and da 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 da? Right. And I gave him a good answer, and we had a light chat, like, you know what I mean? Because it's, you know what I mean? Like, you don't mean any harm. You just want to know, you know, and we're just trying to I just hate that we get so offended by everything. Yeah. You know, they just genuinely want to know. And instead of asking some random person, they're like, let me ask a black person. You know what I mean? Like,
a black person that maybe they have a rapport with, that they trust.
They trust. And that's what I said to him. I was like, thanks for asking me, because I'm a good person to ask this kind of question. I have a lot of things that prop up my answer that don't just deal with an emotional way that I feel about something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna put some history with it, baby. But anyway, you got your guitar in your lap.
Well, it's because we just got rated,
get
but
it.
we just got rated by Sarah Jazz. You guys, thank you so much for that raid. Thank you so
Welcome,
much.
Raiders.
Hey, I'm gonna. Oh Jesus. I'm gonna do a song for you guys, and thank you for your raid. I appreciate it. Sarah, welcome in. Sarah hates everybody, so oh no, I hate everything. Thanks. You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you for the raid.
I hate
appreciate-
everything. Thanks.
I was in Sarah's stream a little earlier. Oh my God, Sarah, our third chord warrior. How dare you go out there and start gifting subs? How dare you?
Ooh.
How dare
Yes.
All right, guys. This is for you. BlakGurlGamr, stick around because I do want to wrap up with you. But please, let's do this. Let's do the raid song, you guys. Thank you so much for the raid. Hey, stay cruising. Welcome, welcome. Hey, guys, I see anybody who's interested in the feedback that's coming up right after this. But just go in the Discord and enter your songs in the feedback. This is for you, Sarah, and your beautiful community, which I am a part of. Fucking step chat. Here we go. It's Ray. Oh shit. Hold on. You can't do anything without motherfucking reverb. Hold on. It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos. No need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. It's raining tacos out in the streets. Tacos, all you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Yum, yum, yummity yum. It's like a dream. Yum, yum, yummity yum. More sour cream. It's raining taco. Ooh, tacos. Ooh, tacos. Ooh, it's raining tacos. It's raining tacos. Out in the streets, tacos. All you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. There you go, guys.
Yeah.
It's raining tacos, everybody. It's raining tacos. Okay, hold on. Let's go over here. Thank you so much for that raid, guys. I am Mike EP. This is my channel, W.S.E.G. We mostly interview musicians and other streamers and artists alike. You want a taco now? So do I. But not the kind of taco you're thinking of.
Oh.
Hey.
Butt taco.
Butt taco. Yeah, I'm thinking more in the realm of butt tacos. I don't know about you guys. Yes.
Or what's that when you have the taco meat?
Taco meat.
what-
I got taco meat too. It's all like brilliant white underneath this shirt. Let's cover that back up. Sarah, no worries. Go get some food. Love you too. I'm praying that your house doesn't get burnt down. And for you guys, I'm sending out good vibes to Tahoe to protect your guys' house. Everybody, let's give good vibes to Sarah Jazz and the Silence Noise. I bless you. If I had my toilet scrubber, I would bless you with it, Sarah. But let's all give good vibes to Sarah, and in hopes that her house and her new husband's house doesn't burn down. Much love to those guys. And third code, 3D code third. Where the fuck 3D Code Warrior? Welcome and thank you for the gifted sub earlier. So BlakGurlGamr, I know that I've had you for a long time, so I'm gonna let you go. But is there any last words you want to part with, or is there anything you want to promote before you go?
I think I've been so thorough, Lord. Normally I would send y'all to soultrustrecords.com, but the website is down and I haven't been able to figure out why, and I haven't had time to figure it out. So I'll get it up eventually. But here's hubby's book. If you want to learn about hip hop, it's well written. You'd be supporting our family if you bought it. We would put it in the mail for you as soon as you bought it. So just get in my inbox if you really do want the book. It's called Off Stage: The Culture of Hip Hop Before the Elements. You know what I mean? It's about all the things. Speaking of burning houses and all that stuff, just the gentrification and the hip hop of it all. That's what it's about. So you can hit us up to get that. You can follow me.
Yeah.
That's nice. That works.
There's some links down there, guys. This is the links that I could gather. I found a Twitch link, I found her YouTube link, and I have a Facebook link there. So
okay, work.
Any way you could get a hold of her, get on there. I'm not the third. What a blasphemy. I'm the first.
I will say this on everything else, you guys. If you ever want to follow me on some other stuff, I'm Novacane Omega.
Novacane Omega. That's right. Yeah. My bad. See, I missed
it's
that.
It's good. It's in the chat. So that's how you find me on anything else. I put the Omega on the back of my name long ago for this very reason, because there's other people named Novacane in the world. And it's like I knew about Google before I knew about Google. And I'm like, in the future, when these motherfuckers Google Novacane, they'll put Omega on the back and it'll get me.
There you go. Hold on. Right. We're going to go ahead and
thank you.
Let me go ahead.
That's a dope name, literally. That's because I'm an MC, guys. I'm a musician.
Yeah.
So I speak English good.
This is how musicians talk, by the way, everyone. The way that we talked right here, this is how musicians talk when they talk to each other, because we know what the fuck is real and not. Because music is the realest game you could be in. I would say the realest. Never mind. Thank you, BlakGurlGamr. I love you so much.
I do want to say this. Sure. Normally on Tuesdays, I do a tutorial at 1 on my channel. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to be teaching about music business. I'm supposed to be teaching about like publishing and publishing law and all that, all the musical stuff. I'm saying supposed to because I might not be there because of life. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm there, that's what it'll be about. And you guys can check me out. All right, that's it for real. All right.
BlakGurlGamr, everybody. Give her a round of applause. Go follow her on Novacane Omega on her Instagram. We got some Ric Flair woos. Yes. Ziggy, you can get that book if you want. Just hit her up. That's all you gotta do. Oh yeah. Boom. Much love. Thank you so much, BlakGurlGamr. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out for that. Now we're gonna do the feedback. So if anybody is here who is interested in the feedback part of the show, go ahead and you can jump in the Discord.